Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to the JTV Game of the Week. I'm Harry Frone, and I'm here with Leslie Bone, who's joining us today for today's bowling matchup here. We're bringing you the double header today. That's right. We've got the boys bowling team, varsity bowling team versus Jackson Memorial, Jackson Liberty, and the girls as well. So what are we looking at today? First of all, it's going to be a little challenging for us to cover both. So our plan is to cover 2 or 3 frames on the one side and then go to the others and do 2 or 3 of the same for them. With your experience with the boys team, what are we looking at today?
Well, we are looking at a great matchup. First of all, welcome everyone. Happy New Year. This is going to be an exciting matchup against these crosstown rivalries. I know there's plenty of experienced players. They both have great records coming into today's matchup. Jackson Liberty has won 18 games, and so has Memorial. So they are tied.
Oh, it's a dead heat there,
It's a dead heat, both 18-6. So this is going to be the matchup that I think we've been waiting for.
I think that folks in town definitely, if you're going to tune into a bowling matchup for the year, this is one to tune into because it's sure to be a good one. Jackson Liberty, of course, coming off Group 2 state championship from last year, looking to do the impossible, which is get themselves in a position to go after a repeat on that title at the end of the season.
Yes, they definitely are eager to repeat their accomplishments from last year. I know with 4 seniors on the team this year, they're definitely looking ahead and trying to send these seniors off with another championship to add to their resumes.
Certainly a good thing, and some good young talent on the team as well. When you look at the Liberty lineup here, you got the Bone brothers coming in, junior and sophomores.
Correct.
Okay. And graduating as many seniors as they are, they definitely want to try and take advantage of the experience, really.
Absolutely. And over on the Jackson Memorial side, we definitely have some great young talent on that team. Andrew Klein and Daniel Robertson are 2 new young guns added to that team, so they've had an outstanding year so far. The Skillman brothers are seasoned. They've had some great experience on the lane. Their leadership is certainly leading the team this year, and this match, we've got Mason starting, so I'm sure they're watching their JV boys as well, keeping them all in the lineups and eager to keep everyone improving.
For sure. We're going to start things off here with the girls' teams starting off here. The starting lineups here for Liberty: Chloe Iso, Alexandra Ramos, Trinity Taylor, Faith Mahler, and Laura Lozano. For Memorial, we've got Emily Fogarty, Grace Elias, Gianna Mosey, Alexis Wands, and Christy Angelo. These guys pretty new to me, I'm not going to lie, at this point.
Yeah, that's okay. We can lend you a hand here. Emily Fogarty is a new young player on the team. She is doing great this year. Grace is improving tremendously. Gianna Masi recently shot a high game of 294.
294?
Had the front 11 strikes. Got a little nervous on that last shot. Unfortunately, only knocked down 4 pins, but what a feat for her.
That's quite an accomplishment.
Absolutely. Alexis Wands is leading the team this year. She's a senior. She has committed to take her bowling career onto the collegiate level, so we wish her the best of luck as she pursues her education and college bowling career. And Christy Angelo's been doing really well this year also.
Well, that's a good rundown on that Memorial roster there. And when we take a look at the Liberty team.
The Liberty girls, my gosh, these girls have been dedicated to practicing down here at the lanes, outside of their team practices, working on their games, looking for all the guidance they can. We are certainly wishing them well and eager to see how they're going to perform coming out of this Christmas break. I know, like I said, they've been practicing, working hard, taking in as much knowledge as they can to improve their skills.
Well, this is definitely a game that requires quite a bit of practice. I actually coached bowling my first 2 years of teaching over at Manchester High School.
Great.
Yes.
So you're well into this.
Well, I was not a bowler at the time. It was I was kind of pressed into action. But I did work with Diane Vini, who was the bowling coach over at Manchester for a lot of years. And I did learn a bit about bowling. Improved my average a little, let's just say.
There you go.
But I was a good motivator.
Good.
So it's kind of fun to be back here in the lanes once again, no doubt.
Good. Well, I think this game, from people that are watching at home and people, the parents that are supporting, people who are new to bowling, bowling is definitely mathematical, scientifical. Those are two things you can definitely bring to the center when you come to bowl. I know when we're teaching a lot of the new kids and some of the new coaches like yourself, we're so thankful that you've filled the position so that allow these kids the opportunity to bowl. But, we look at the lane. There's 39 boards in a lane. We talk to the kids about the value of counting the boards, corresponding that with the arrows, and then with the pins, how the lanes change with the oil. More traffic on the lane changes the oil. So we have quite a buildup of oil in the middle of the lane, less volume on the outside of the lane. So you try to teach the kids the best way to hit the one in the front, you might say.
And it definitely affects the travel of the ball. There's no doubt about it. And that very scientific approach to bowling, counting boards, where you start, starting position on the lane, it's all stuff that I can look back on now and remember fondly, and remember fighting Diane about it. Wait, if you want me to hit the pins there, you want me to stand where? Reminds me a lot of the technical expertise that it takes to play tennis as well, to be honest. There are very specific things you need to do in the sport. And it's great to see the kids out here, understanding what they need to do and then applying it here, because it really is up to them once they get on that lane and start bowling, no doubt about it.
And there's a lot of teamwork that goes into that as well. When you're watching the players in front of you throw a shot, there's always something to be learned. The value of your leadoff bowler on both teams, be it Sean and Justin or Chloe and Emily on the ladies' side. We watch their ball roll. We watch where it hits the lane. We watch how much it does hook or doesn't hook. And we try to translate that information as we go down the lineup. Every shot, be it on the right or the left side of the lane, is valuable information. And those players and teams that use that to their best advantage are the ones that usually find themselves holding the trophy, you might say, at the end.
And here's the other thing that I think a lot of folks at home maybe don't understand is how, maybe you could talk a little bit about that, is how bowling is scored at the high school level. Every pin really does count.
Oh, absolutely. As a coach myself, I'm always teaching the kids, when you leave a split, although you're disappointed and you're frustrated with the outcome of that shot, but do yourself a favor and grab as many pins as you can. I'll share just a real quick experience. Brandon and Justin traveled overseas to Malaysia, and at the end of 10 games of competition, Brandon ended up winning the tournament by just 2 pins. So in 8 games of competition, we can find 1 or 2 pins wherever, and if for his sake, at that time, it cost him, or it earned him the championship, and unfortunately the gentleman behind him, well, those 1 or 2 pins.
Yeah.
2 pins. Yeah, he finished second. So.
And over the course of that many games, there are definitely opportunities to pick up pins
along
absolutely. That way, without a doubt.
When we watch the girls and the boys, we try to just line up. I oftentimes use this phrase, hit the one in the front, meaning the head pin. And when you hit the head pin, you usually leave yourself a makeable spare. Making those spares, we're going to see the scores greatly improve. We're going to see a lot of strikes, I think, on our boys' side, Jackson Memorial and Liberty. However, many of these players are going to play the same part of the lane, so we're going to see the lanes change a lot more than what we might normally. On the ladies' side, this is going to be a battle of making spares and filling frames.
Yeah, I can feel it. And, again, counting those pins at the end. In order to win the high school level, they are playing the best 2 out of 3 games.
Yep.
And they play out all 3 games regardless. Okay. So that's kind of what we have you folks in for tonight, is as far as what we're doing. Each team is going to bowl 3 games, regardless of who wins the first 2 games. And to win the game, they're going to add up the all 5 scores.
Yep, all 5
pins.
scores will be added, and actually each team will be awarded a point for their win. So we'll have, at the end of game 1, whichever team has scored the most points for all 5 players will be 1. So at the end of the match, it could be 2-1, 3-0, however. So it is definitely, you earn a point for every game that you win.
Sure, and a lot of people think, so there's some people that think maybe they have 5 bowlers and they drop the low scorer, but that's not what goes on here. So every single one of these bowlers out here today bowling, those pins count. Somebody's having an off day, whatever's going on, those pins count. So they really need to work hard to pick up whatever pins they can.
Yep, we have about 1:30 left in practice. The guys and the ladies are still trying to figure out the best way to attack the lanes.
And, you know, the surface does change, could change daily here depending on a whole host of variables. What do you think the kids like most about? You're at this lane. You're here a lot.
I'm here a lot.
Let's be honest. You're here a lot.
Yes.
What's the book on this place? What do the kids like about this facility?
I think what the kids like about this place is they practice here, and all of their league matches are here, so they're very familiar with the atmosphere in the center and the surroundings. I know as a player, when you walk into a center, it's always good to know where everything is. You just feel more comfortable and at ease. These kids have been bowling with each other. This is match number 9 of the season, so they're all familiar with each other. So I think they're eager after the holiday break to get back on the lanes, and I know they've been looking forward to this match.
Oh, I have a combination of both some Memorial kids and some Liberty students in our film program, so they've been talking about this matchup for a while there. I mean, good-spiritedly talking about the matchup, that they knew this was going to be a good one, and really there's been a big push from everybody in the bowling program to get us out here to record today. So they had an early start today, like a 2 p.m. start. We sent Mr. Noble out here nice and early so he could set up, and you know, it's 2:30-ish, I'm guessing.
2:33.
And we've got everything up and working and ready to roll, and they're just about finishing up their
and I see we have our athletic director here in town with us today,
he's
too.
Here today. That's it.
He's ready for this matchup, and thank him for all his support of the bowling program, and thank JTV, for your support of this. This means a lot to the kids, and coming off of a state championship and what they've been able to accomplish, this is pretty awesome.
It's definitely fun to be here. We always look forward to this, and we're just glad that we're able to bring a good one today. Honestly, it looks like they're getting ready to go here. Practice wrapping up.
Yep, the coaches are giving their last bit of advice to the kids.
Now, coaching, folks at home, again, coaching at the high school level allowed during play. Again, coaching is allowed during play.
Coaching is allowed during play, absolutely. So the coaches can add their insight on what they see is happening on the lanes. I think our players, with the experience that they have, as well as the Memorial side, these two teams are really, really well matched. They're going to watch each side of the lane because let's say Jackson Liberty starts on lane 6. All 5 bowlers will bowl on that lane. Memorial will all bowl on lane 5. So our boys, meaning the Liberty boys, will be watching what's going on, what the Memorial boys do, to see if the lanes are any different. You asked me earlier about how the lanes are different here. Typically, one lane hooks more than the other, so that's great information that the right lane may hook a little bit more than the left lane, so they'll want to keep that in mind when they switch lanes every other frame.
Okay. Some great information and some insight you gave to us today. It's always nice to have someone that's so connected into a program to help us out when it comes to commentating. So I'm really looking forward to working this one with you today. Looks like we're going to start with the girls. And it looks like it's going to be Emily Fogarty getting things underway here from Memorial, and Chloe, I want to say Iaso. Both teams giving off a final cheer. Again, so basically what you're saying is that the Liberty side will bowl one lane.
Liberty's going to start on lane 6 with Jackson Memorial boys starting on lane 5. On the girls' side, we've got the Jackson Memorial girls will start on lane 3, and the Liberty girls will start on lane 4.
One more shot on 6.
Okay. So Emily over here on lane 3 threw a great shot to start the match with a solid 10-pin. Chloe made a great shot as well on lane 4, leaving just the 4-pin. So she's left herself a pretty makeable spare, so we're going to be hopeful that she shows us just how easy this is to convert the spare.
Oh my.
Great shot there by Chloe to lead off
Made
Jackson
that one
Liberty.
look easy there, didn't she?
She sure did. And Emily matched that with a spare, also with a 10-pin.
Dead even after the first 2 bowlers. Alexandra Ramos and Grace Elias up next for Liberty Memorial. Alexandra Ramos.
Alexandra's been working really hard on her game. I know I've been working with her myself along with the coaches. Little rough start there, but I have a feeling she's going to bring that right back. Great shot there by Grace. Grace is a junior over at Memorial.
Picks up the first strike of the day there.
She's eager to get the Jaguars off to a good start.
I'd say so, and I'd say she's done that.
There we go. That's a better shot. All right. Got 9 pins on that shot.
You talk about how important it is to pick up pins after that one. That'll come in handy down the road, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Next up for Liberty, Trinity Taylor and Gianna Mosey for Memorial.
We spoke about Gianna earlier. She was the bowler that had a nice game, a 294. And she's going to start in that same fashion again.
Trinity picks up 7 there.
I think the first one's really the hardest one to get because you can't shoot 300 without the first one.
No, you can't. Absolutely. Oh, a southpaw, too. A lefty, huh?
Alexis, good shot there. Broke out of the split. Looked a little bit slow. Probably hooked a little bit more than she wanted to, but easy spare to convert. Just leaving herself with the 4-7. Trinity looks pretty good there with the spare.
They're picking up spares so far.
Spares are the key.
You said earlier today how important those spares were going to be in this girls matchup right here.
Absolutely will be.
Another 2 picked up there by Lexi. And the pacing not exactly the same between the 2 lanes. Again, Memorial has Christy Angelo right now up to bowl, and Faith Molitor for Liberty. Got to keep an eye on my big cats here as we look for the lion on the shirt.
There we go.
That one hooked at the last minute there.
Yep, Faith's going to have to make a small adjustment here on the spare. Watching Krista's shot here, that looks pretty good.
Oh! I didn't see that coming.
No, that's not one of our favorite breaks in the game of bowling.
No,
that
that's
was quite unfortunate. So if I'm Krista right now, I'm picking the one I have the most difficulty with so I can get an extra
Get a
practice
little extra
shot.
practice in? There you go. Good
You
thinking.
got it. Faith isn't very happy with that one. That's okay. First frame. Get the bugs out. Get the jitters
That's right.
out.
Laura Lozano now up for Liberty. Christie's going to try and pick up one of these.
Looks like she had a little trouble with the approach there.
Looked like she slipped a little.
Yeah.
Again, early on, I'd say early on is probably where footing can be a little challenging there.
Yep.
Nice ball there.
All right, good shot by Laura. Pick up the spare, fill the frame. Now, once all 5 bowlers have bowled on this lane, they'll switch. And so Memorial will come over here to lane 4.
So they'll actually wait for them to finish on the other side and then make the switch.
Absolutely, yep.
And again, I think that's all about being fair because like you said earlier, the lanes, they can play a little bit differently.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like the way a football team might play the wind.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Laura left that spare out there. She's going to be looking to regroup. Like I said, after the break, they're probably eager to just get underway and get their feet back underneath them. Emily left a 10-pin the last time. Let's see what she does here on lane 4.
Oh, got the kick out there.
Nice shot there by Emily. Emily's averaging 177 so far this season, doing really, really well.
Solid average. And off to a great start today.
Chloe's looking to rebound here.
Oh, that one just didn't catch enough of that head pin.
Yeah, a little light.
And that's Grace Elias.
Grace has left herself with the 3-pin. pretty makeable
Yeah, they're
spare.
going to have to change that. I thought so. I saw a 6
Yep.
up there, and looks
Yeah.
like an error to me.
This is just a small adjustment with her feet to the left to make the spare and should fill the frame pretty easily.
Oh, very nice pickup there.
Nice spare by Chloe.
Grace looking to pick hers up and catches just enough of that pin. Gianna had a strike in the first frame.
Good shot here by Liberty. Oh! Little extra kick to take out the 10 pin there.
Wow, that was a good one.
We like it when that happens.
Oh, yeah, there are way too many times it happens where it goes the other way. So when it happens like that,
we'll
lift
take
the
that.
gift horse in the mouth. You'll take it, absolutely.
Little momentum going their way. Trinity up here on lane 3. Little extra hook. Nice shot, leaving herself just the 4 pin.
It's always interesting, I think, when we watch how the pins react to what seems to you to be the same ball being thrown, and these slight differences and how it affects the pin reaction.
Yeah,
Such an interesting sport.
That goes back to a little bit of that scientific mathematics, the angle of entry, just slightly different, the speed of your ball, a little more, a little bit less. Trinity looks to make up the spare. There you go.
How important do you find the bowlers throwing less of a straight ball and more of some type of hook?
Well, the hook is definitely more powerful, makes the pins mix up a little bit more. Talked about getting those little extra shots that are, don't look the greatest, but pins are mixing and flying around. Definitely more hook is going to be to your benefit, certainly as long as you know what to do with it.
Yeah, because if you don't throw the hook right, it's moving. It could move right out of the pocket pretty quickly.
Absolutely.
That's why I generally throw a relatively straight ball.
All
That
right.
one just misses a little glancing blow, so to speak.
Alexis looking to make the 610 here. Great shot.
Picked it up. A lot of spares being picked up here after the first 2 frames.
Yes, there are. And Alexis has really improved her game as well. She's embraced her spare ball, which is made of a different material than her first ball. We want that spare ball to go quite a bit straighter so that when we shoot our spares, we have a better idea of exactly where it's going. Oh,
I thought that had it too.
I thought she did too. She'll make a small adjustment to get lined back up. Krista Angelo up here for Memorial on lane 4. Looks like a good shot off her hand.
Picks up a
There it
strike.
is.
You called it.
Right in the pocket. Better than that 710 she left
Yeah,
on
that's
the
for sure.
lane 3. Laura's up here.
Our technical director fell asleep for a second there. They're doing a really good job on the bus so far, keeping up with both lanes. And after 2 frames of bowling, we've got Memorial in the lead here, 136 to 98. As we take a look up there, you can see Memorial right now. Emily Grace working with 3 spares and a strike as they head off into the 3rd frame. But we're going to take a break and slide over and get caught up on what's going on the guys' lanes. Let's take a look. Going to take us a second. You'll see the guys are actually in. They just started the 2nd frame. So much for that prediction from Justin about how much faster the guys were going to play today, huh?
Yeah, hopefully they'll pick it back up and we can.
Maybe they will.
Yeah.
Maybe they started a few minutes later.
I think they were talking that each one of them got one more practice shot and the girls got underway. So
that could be it.
right now, after we're just starting the 2nd frame on the boys' side, looks like we have a pretty close match.
It looks like 88 to 77 here with, looks like Memorial in with a slight edge.
Memorial has a slight edge through the first 7 frame. Well, we have 5 and then 2. They have 1 open frame on the Memorial side, and on the Liberty side, we've got 2 open frames. So we talked about filling frames, spares, and strikes. They are the utmost importance.
That is important. Those open frames come back to bite you later in the day.
Stephen with a nice shot there on lane 6. Looks like we've got Andrew Klein coming up on lane 6. And John is looking to finish his frame here on lane 5.
John wanted. John would not be happy with me unless I did this. Wanted!
Absolutely.
Just for you, John.
Andrew Klein. Sounded good, looked good. Great shot there by Andrew. Andrew's a freshman at Jackson Memorial. Brings a lot of talent to this team.
And wanted with the release. And he's going to pick up his spare.
Great shot there by John. Way to fill that frame.
Up now for Liberty, we've got Danny Robertson.
Ooh, with the messenger, almost taking out the 10 pin.
And
Daniel Robertson there on lane 6.
You might know this next guy up from Memorial here, Brandon Bowen.
Actually, before Brandon throws, we got Preston. Preston's going to jump in there and throw his shot first.
Oh, you're right.
Preston is one of our seniors. One of the seniors at Liberty, throwing a nice shot there in frame 2. Daniel Robertson's scoping out his spare ball to make this 10 pin, and then we've got Brandon Bone up here on the left.
Southpaw.
Good shot there by Brandon, coming up just a little bit light, leaving the 3 pin. Nice spare by Daniel. Daniel is another freshman on the Jackson Memorial team.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing more pleasing to a coach than to have a couple of freshmen step into your program and able to compete at the varsity level, because you know as a coach that they're just going to develop and get better and better and better.
Absolutely, and those 2 players are, these kids bowl year round. I know, Andrew plays some other sports. He's very athletic. Danny spends a lot of time at the bowling center. These kids are bowling as much as they can. And you're right, I'm sure as from a coach, to see this talent at this young age, looking ahead the next 4 years is pretty exciting.
Nope, Brandon picks it up. He's got a pretty extreme hook on his throw there, huh?
He does.
Looks like got a fair amount of rotation and some pretty good speed off of his ball.
Yes.
I know that when I go bowling with my family, my son-in-law likes to roll the ball as fast as he possibly can, regardless of where it goes. It's going as fast as he can.
That can be a positive. You can knock down a few more pins if your ball's entering the lanes a little.
I've seen it happen.
Absolutely. Here's Justin up on lane 6 with the turkey. And now we got Sean Skillman. Oh, almost taking out that 7 pin. Sean was hoping.
Sometimes you get that ball dropping, for the pins dropping for you.
That's right. Got Zach up here on lane 6. Zach is another one of Liberty's seniors.
Zach Austin.
Fell off a little bit.
Oh, that one came off pretty good.
Yep, lost his balance there slightly, but put it in the right place.
Ooh.
Found himself a strike. Sean filling that frame. Here's our buddy John.
Wanted. Bring it, buddy.
Great.
I'll tell you what.
Great shot. Good frame here by Liberty with 3 strikes coming down. Mason looking to double up here.
And
crossing over, going Brooklyn, leaving himself with a 1 pin spare. Mason Palace is averaging 170 so far in the conference this year.
Well, that can only mean he's picking up some spares along the way, that's for sure.
Yep. Here we go with Preston, up on lane 6 with a strike. Continuing the strikes down in the frame 3.
All the way down, that's a hot lane right now, huh? 4 in a row. I know there's probably a little pressure on Brandon right now.
Brandon's probably thinking, I need to strike.
Guys are all talking over there. Hey, Brandon, come on, don't leave us hanging now.
That's right. Brandon's feeling it.
Sounded
good.
there.
Sounded good.
I think he got it.
That is a star frame.
He did get it. Now those pins, those strikes are going to come in handy in 2 balls.
Looks like they may have learned quite a bit from the first time they bowled on that lane. So we know that frame 1 was also on lane 6. So when they came back to it, they used that information that they gathered in the first frame to help them with the third frame.
Oh, that one dips out.
Steven
A
missing.
bit late on Steven there.
Just sliding right by that 10 pin.
Yeah, you're right. Big adjustment there from the first frame to the third frame.
Andrew working on 2 strikes, looking to pick Steven up with another strike here in frame 3. Good balance. Look at that. Great shot.
Yeah, that's a beaut. Again, you don't have to throw the ball 90 miles an hour in bowling. It really is about the angle of attack and so many other things.
Daniel Robertson. Woo! Great shot.
That one looked like it made a left-hand turn. Forget about a hook.
Quite a bit of rotation, playing the lanes with, like you said, a lot of hook.
Oh, I thought that was going to work out there. He had a really good kick out there.
That's a tough break there for Sean. Pretty makeable spare, though. Make a small adjustment with your feet to the left. Just get the ball to the right side of the 5 pin. This can be made.
And for us, it'll look great on camera, too.
It will.
He
Justin
can pick this one up. Justin's up. Going for strike number, what's that, 4 in a row, and he got it?
That's 4 in a row.
Let's see if he can pick this up. Just misses there. I thought he was going to get a little deflection with the ball to push it in, but he does pick up 1.
Just got 1. He's probably not so happy with his start. Sean's quite a competitor. Sean's averaging 197 so far this season, doing very well. Zach with a double in frame 4. Great shot.
Liberty on a roll here with strikes. I think that's 7 in a row, if I'm not mistaken. I probably just jinxed it for them, but my apologies wanted. I'll say it right now.
All right, let's see if he can
Let's see
help you out.
if he heard me here. Hopefully not. Come on, get in there. Oh, all right, good.
He saved you.
He saved me. Thanks, John.
Great shot there by John. Mason looking to pick up the 10 pin here. Looking focused.
Oh, just misses. For you folks at home, it's interesting that in order to pick up the pins on the right, where do they need to stand?
All the way to the left.
All the way to the left.
Yeah. That's where that spare ball comes in really handy. I was talking about during the girls' match. You want to keep just a direct line to those spares. Keep it real simple. Draw a nice diagonal line back to the math. Fell off a little bit. Caught a break. Tripped the 4 pin for 3 in a row for Preston.
Steven Skillman up.
Ooh. Great shot there by Steven, leaving the 4 pin. Brandon up, looking to have 2 star frames in a row if he can strike on this shot. There it is.
2 star frames.
Great shot there by Brandon.
Take a look at the replay here. JTV slow-mo here. There's so much hook on that ball. I'll tell you what, it's wild watching it in slow motion because you can actually see the ball deflect off the pins. It looked like the ball actually took a left-hand turn after it took out 2 pins.
It's really crazy for those of you at home and yourself. The ball actually on a perfect strike only hits 4 pins. And the rest of the pins deflect and take out each other. So on Brandon's shot, you saw how the 4 pin wrapped around the 7 and then just caught the bottom of it.
Absolutely interesting to watch it happen in slow motion, guys.
Andrew Klein. Andrew Klein with his 4th strike in a row in frame 4. And Daniel Robertson catching the double. This is a close match. We've got 352 to 328.
Oh, this is really exciting. And you know what, though? We're going to come back to this one in a few. Actually, you know what? Let's stay with this one for one more frame, and then we'll head up with the girls after this, because I think we came in the middle of that one anyway. The girls are still in the 4th frame anyway, so we're going to stay with you. We're going to stay with you through the 5th here.
See if Liberty can continue this string of strikes.
Sean Skillman just.
Sean's still
leave
looking
one?
for his first strike. I know he's eager to go ahead and get that strike on the board for his team. Here's Justin.
Oh, and the strike streak ends there.
Strike.
That was a good ball, though.
It was a great shot, leaving himself with just a 7-pin.
I mean, after striking so many times in a row, and you miss that 5th strike in a row, what's going through his head right now?
He's feeling pretty disappointed that he let
Yeah.
his team down. They
So-
had 10 strikes in a row for their team, so a perfect game is 12 strikes in a row. So even if it's a team 300 or an individual 300, those are still fun to accomplish.
Sure. Good focus there. Stayed in it and picked up the spare.
Spares are huge. Here's Mason up for the Jaguars here on lane 5. Great
Ball.
shot. He's eager to get that on the board after his 2 9 misses.
Zach Austin has
Zach.
2 strikes under his belt right here. Oh, that went into a good spot. He's going to pick up. That'll be 3 in a row.
Justin's really feeling the heat now that he missed.
Skillman, Steven.
Great
picking
shot
up his.
there.
Is that his first strike of the day?
That is his 2nd strike of the day.
All right.
Him and Mason. It's kind of like follow the leader. Whatever Mason did, Steven did. So now get on those strikes.
Wanted leaves a couple there.
John's shot crept a little bit high, leaving himself with 2 pins for the spare. Here's Andrew Klein with the front 4. Look at the focus and watch his balance.
Pretty
Great,
much a perfect ball, yeah.
great shot there by Andrew.
As we take a look at the strike again here in slow-mo. You can talk us through this right here.
Look at the ball going right through the pins, all the way through, no doubt about that shot.
Yeah, and you were right about it, only hitting 4 pins. You can see it in the slow-mo there that it really does only hit 4 pins, and the rest is pins hitting pins.
Yeah, for a right-hander, it's the 1, 3, 5, and 9 pin, the pin numbers. It's the only 4 that will touch, that the ball touches. Here's Preston.
Preston with his 4th strike in a row. Another interesting thing for us here at home as folks are watching is to notice the variety of different approaches to the ball and on the release. Everybody's a little different.
Each one of these players definitely developed their own style of bowling,
Yeah.
for sure. It's, that's one of the great things about our sport. Anybody can bowl.
Yeah.
Left-handed, right-handed, this, that, anybody can bowl. It's just simply from getting to the back of the approach to the foul line, delivering the ball. Some players do it with one hand, some do it with 2 hands. Daniel Robertson here for Jackson Memorial, he throws it 2-handed, creates more revolutions. Justin, as you just saw there, is one-handed, right-handed.
Picks up his, looks like his 5th strike of the day. Yep. What's Justin averaging so far this year?
Justin so far is averaging 229, which is a great average for him. He's definitely above where he was last year. He continues to work hard on his game.
And we can see here that looks like Liberty's kind of pulled ahead a little bit, 5:15 to 4:37. I'm sure the result of those 2 frames of strikes, which those totals add up when you start multiplying numbers up. Remember, folks, that if you get a spare, you count the spare, the 10 plus the next ball. If it's a strike, it's the 10 plus 2 balls. So if you strike 2, you can pick up 30 pins.
That's right, and we count, you look at the scoreboard and you count the marks, and a mark is a spare or a strike, and we count for the Jackson Liberty boys when they had 2 strikes in the 5th and the 6th, or the 4th and the 5th frame, those count double. So they were even more ahead than what the scores reflected at the bottom.
Correct, and it looks like they've shifted us over to the girls' lanes here, so we'll pick you up here.
Trinity Taylor with the 10-pin spare, great shot there by Trinity.
And it looks
Looks
like
like
we've got...
Chloe has 3 strikes in a row for Jackson Liberty.
Oh, that's a pickup there. That looked like it was in slow motion, Leslie.
That was a great shot there by Alexis.
And it looks like, based on the scores, looks like Memorial's up 382 to 320 maybe right
Yep.
around now.
You got it. We're through 5.5 frames. So Memorial has a slight edge over Liberty. Good shot here by
Looked like
Faith.
it's- ooh,
Hang on.
Last minute break there.
All right. We talk
Pretty
about.
gettable spare though, right?
Yes, it is. For the double there by Krista. Nice clean frame, or star frame, we like to say, for Jackson Memorial. 3 strikes and 2 spares, and Krista caught the double. That'll help increase their lead. Faith looking to convert this spare here on lane 4. Faith has really been working on her targeting and her spare shooting, creating a little more ball speed with a little more momentum. That's going to be close.
Oh, that is going to be close.
Oh.
Oh, just missed.
Her awareness of the lane has really improved. So Laura's up here on lane 4 for Liberty. Laura's coming off of a split on lane 3, so she's looking to rebound here on the right lane.
Oh,
Little high leaving herself a split. She'll need to get one and use that information the next time when she comes back to that lane.
just going to try and pick one of those up right here. Laura Lozano.
Left both of those there. So after 5 complete frames, Jackson Memorial has 402 and Jackson Liberty has 340.
Right. We're going to stick with this one through 6.
Chloe's going to lead off Liberty here. She has 3 strikes in a row. She has 5 clean frames.
She just had another strike here. What are we looking here? Emily, 1, 2, 3, yeah. Only one open frame.
Oh, Emily's ball didn't hook up quite like she thought it would on that lane. Chloe is averaging 143 so far this season. Definitely on a pace to beat her average this game for sure.
She sure is.
Good balance.
And that's gonna,
All right.
gettable. That's a gettable spare.
Yes,
Ball
it
didn't
is.
quite have the break on it.
Yep. Emily Fogarty got 4 of her washout. Missed the conversion there in frame 6. Chloe will make just a small adjustment to the right with her feet to cover the spare. Grace Elias looking for a double here in frame 6. Ooh, little high.
Chloe looking to pick up the spare. Come on, come on, come on. Picks it up. Nicely done.
That spare in frame 6 keeps Chloe clean through all of her frames so far. Grace will be happy with just 2 of these. Take the wood.
Not much of a chance of picking all 3 of them up, so
That's a tough
she
one.
got them there. 2 out of 3 frames. That's the straightest ball I saw. Oh, just misses on that kick out. She knows it too.
She does, doesn't she?
She does. He's like, oh. Take a look at this one. It's a pretty straight ball. A little left to right break there, huh?
Yep. Little back up.
Oh, just misses that.
Leaving herself just the 5-pin. Alexis so far is averaging 106 this season, and with that 9 count, she has 84 already, so she's well on her way to hitting her average, and hopefully a lot more than
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. It's always nice to see when kids can rise to the occasion.
Oh, that's a spare.
That's definitely a spare. Pretty happy about it too.
Yes, she is. Alexis up here on lane 4. A little high, leaving herself just the 4-7. Shot by Trinity. That looks close.
Ooh.
Leaving herself just the 10 pin. Trinity's averaging 126 so far this season. Nice spare there by Alexis. Alexis is actually leading the ladies with a 193 average. Trinity going for the spare here. Nice conversion on the 10 pin. Here we have Krista on lane 4. Oh, pin's rolling around trying to get over there to the 10 pin.
Trying to take out that 10 pin who's been a stubborn pin all day.
Yeah, Krista has stayed in the pocket, just hasn't been very fortunate to string too many strikes together. She was on a double there. Faith is talking to herself, making sharing some information with her team, knowing she needs to make an adjustment to get her ball back in the pocket. Krista smiles when she takes care of that 10 pin in frame 6. I think the old theory is you don't have to hit it too hard, you just have to hit it.
Hit it.
Just have to hit it. Oh, look at this.
Look at that break.
Oh!
That's the best pickup of the day. Hey, let's take a look at that one again. Thanks, guys.
She's pretty thankful for this, isn't she?
This hung right on the edge of the lane. Kicks at it. That is a perfect ball.
Look at that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Now she should take that information to her next first shot
Sure
and realize the value of that. She needs to throw it right out to the gutter. Laura's up. This looks close. All right, break out of the split. Just to give you a little bit of information over here on the boys, I know we're focused on the girls, but just an update. Jackson Liberty has 780 team score to Jackson Memorial 668.
All right, we'll be bouncing over to their lane in just a minute. Oh, she's gonna pick that up too. Like somebody pushed that ball in play, Leslie.
Yes.
All right, before we leave the girls here, let's give you a quick score update on the ladies here. We've got Jackson Memorial up 503 to 416 after 6 frames. We're gonna head over to the guys. All right, as we kick things off, the guys, Liberty up 790 to Memorial 698.
And look at this, freshman Andrew Klein has continued his strikes and now has 8 strikes in a row.
Oh, he's looking at this. This could get real interesting very soon. Andrew Klein, just a reminder, folks, freshman Andrew Klein.
Yes, he is.
He's averaging roughly...
Andrew Klein is currently averaging 210 as a freshman. So he's doing very well. I will tell you this, though. So far this season, we have had 1 300, 1 perfect game by Brandon Bone. We've had a 290 by Steven Skillman and teammate Daniel Robertson with a high 289 game.
I'll tell you what, we could see another big one here in just a few minutes.
Yes, we could.
As we are heading into the 9th frame here for the guys.
So we talk about this great matchup. So far this season, Jackson Liberty boys have the high scratch team game of 1183 and Jackson Memorial is second with 1138. So for 5 players to shoot an 1100, that means that each player is averaging over 200 because 5 200s is 1,000. So 1183 is quite a feat for a team of 5 players.
Impressive.
So these 2 teams are definitely continuing to battle.
They are, and a substitution in a few minutes ago when we were off watching, covering the girls' game. Joey Silverman in there, subbed in for...
Mason Palace, I believe.
That's it, you're right.
Mason Palace looks like he was struggling just slightly through 6 frames, so they brought in one of their JV players to give Mason a little relief. Great.
And Zach Austin picks up another strike. That makes his 7 strikes in a row for him.
7 strikes in a row to increase their lead. And it looks like Justin had 9 spare in the 8th with 4 strikes. They're looking to set that 9th frame up once again.
That must be Silverman there, leaving the split. And
Joey's ball looked a little bit too much to the left, leaving himself with a 5-10. Once again, makeable spare, just got to hit it a little bit to the left of the 5 pin.
Up.
That was a strange leave. So John went on, just hit the pocket and leaves a 6 pin, which is crazy. Oh.
Just missed it.
That was a great
he was gonna
effort
get that.
there. Absolutely.
9th frame here. Wanted really trying to focus here and pick this up so he could go into the 10th frame. Oh, and it just misses. He just misses it.
Yeah, it looks like John's having a little trouble on that right lane, filling the frame. If we look back at the scores, he's left it open in the 5th, 7th, and 9th. I think he wants to stay on the left lane.
Definitely. Seems to be his hot side. So we take a look at this strike here.
By Steven. Great strike
Ball's
there.
doing their job, yeah.
Great strike by the birthday boy. And here's Andrew Klein.
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday out to Steven Skillman today, too. And Klein picks up another strike.
Andrew Klein.
That's his 9th in a row, right?
Continuing the strikes with the first 9.
Next frame's going to be interesting for him.
Yes, it is. Nice shot there by Preston, setting up the 10th frame. Score currently is Jackson Memorial 8-14 and Jackson Liberty 9-28.
It looks like both teams are going to have one player who left the frame open. Lots of strikes on the board.
Great replay there by Daniel. Brandon doesn't look very happy with that shot.
He did not look happy at all. He's going to leave what looked like the 4 pin from here.
Brandon may have lost his footing slightly. However, makeable spare, easy conversion, fill your frame and move on to the 10th.
Waiting for Liberty to finish up the 10th frame here, or the 9th frame, rather.
Brandon is also averaging 230 this season. Great average for our 2 players. 230 average equals a 690 series, which is outstanding for these kids.
And he's going to pick up that spare. And we're going to enter the 10th frame here in the guys matchup. Liberty in the lead with a 957 and Memorial not so far behind with an 834. Both teams working with a lot of strikes as they enter this 10th frame.
Yes, they are. Jackson Liberty's looking to put a great game on the board. Memorial will be looking to keep themselves lined up so that they can figure out how to come back in games 2 and 3. Oh, great shot there by Sean, leaving just a solid 10 pin.
That 10 pin seems to be the most often left pin. I'm sure there's a scientific reason for that.
Yes, these kids, you know, they're so talented and they've practiced so hard and they've definitely figured out how to get to the pocket and give themselves a chance. Now it's just figuring out that little bit extra to carry that 10 pin. Watching Justin. Ooh, he was a little unsure about that one, went a little high, carried the strike.
Good spare pickup there.
Sean filling the frame. Sean's a little bit under his average. He's currently averaging 197, and with the strike here, he'll finish with a 162. Justin, with his 3rd strike here in the 10th, will have a nice game of 258.
And he's going to leave one.
257.
huh?
Great
Good
game
solid
there for
game
Justin.
for him.
Watch the replay. That ball hooked a little bit high. Not sure if that was all him or the lane changing, but either way, he'll share some information with Zach.
Zach on a roll as he comes in here with 7 strikes in a row here.
Zach is currently averaging 194 this season.
And he picked it up.
One
Picks
more
up
strike
that first
there.
strike.
Zach, with the next 2 strikes, can have a game of 268.
Solid game where I come from.
Yes, it is.
Over his average, I might add. By quite a bit. He sets up.
Waiting for lane 4 here. They need all 10 pins. Zach
And
with
he
the
picks it up.
second strike there in the 10th. Great bowling by the 2 leadoff bowlers here for Jackson Liberty. 257 and 268 with this final strike.
Silverman there. Picks up 9 pins. We'll see if Zach can finish this last ball off.
Joey's another one of our dedicated youth bowlers here at Howell Lanes. Always looking to improve his game, learn a little bit more, fill a few more frames.
And he's going to leave 2 there.
Good place for that with a nice 266.
Solid 1-2 punch up there at the top of that Liberty lineup today in this first game.
Now this is the lane that John likes. He's been striking quite a bit on this left lane, so we're going to be hopefully carries that over to the 10th frame.
Make it count here.
I think I jinxed him.
I think you may have. So that ball is going to go maybe a little high left, but Silverman tries to pick up that last.
9 spare 9 for Joey in the 10th frame, finishing out with a 146. Looking to get warmed up here for game 2.
You were talking about the 1100 series the Liberty boys had recently. They are looking like they might crack that with this one. What's their high for the year was what?
So their high for the year so far is 1183.
You got to keep an eye on this one. It's going to be close.
So if I add up their scores, they can get.
This is
They
where
can
this is where the
actually-
math is coming in right here.
So the math, if we do this correctly and they all strike out, they can get 1184. Oh, so
there's
now
that pin.
there's that pin. So now if Preston and Brandon both strike out, I think they can tie their season high. But our focus here is on Steven with 4 strikes in a row.
And let's see, Wanted ball. Didn't get the right pin reaction he wanted.
Remember I said how your ball touches 4 pins?
Missed one
1,
there,
3,
huh?
5 in the 9. That was the 9 pin that it just went by. It hooked a little too strong on that perfect strike.
Gotcha.
Here's Preston,
Oof.
leaving the 8 pin. Steven looking to finish this game out with a 217 if he strikes here on this final shot.
And he got it.
The birthday boy.
That's it.
He's-
18 today, I might add.
Yes, he is,
That's
with a
right.
217 game. His average currently this season is 203. So he was above his average. Now let's focus our attention on Andrew Klein, looking for number 10.
Oh!
Great shot by Andrew. Going a little high, leaving the 4-7 on lane 6. I'm sure he's a little disappointed, but we are going to see so much of Andrew in the next 3 years here. Preston finishing the game out with a 237. Talked about that season high. They can get to 1172, so they're going to fall just short of that. It's still a great start for Liberty.
That is. I'm sure they'll be happy with the total there. Ooh, a lot of pin reaction on that one. Brandon's going to throw.
Andrew finishing up with a very nice 277 for the freshman.
That is the high game of the day so far.
Yes, it is.
Brandon picks up another strike as he's going to try and strike out this 10th frame. Okay, Leslie, let's do some math here. If he gets a strike here, what are we looking at?
1162.
1162.
Brandon can shoot 237. Daniel Robertson got the first one here, looking to finish out strong for Jackson Memorial.
And he's going to leave one.
236 for 1161 for the Lions.
1161 for the Lions. And it looks like Dan's going to finish up. And Robertson with a, looks like a 196. Nope, I think he's going for the spare.
216 finish. Nice clean game for Daniel.
1015.
Daniel's average for the season so far is 214, so he's just over.
We run down those scores real quick. I'll give you a Memorial first here. Sean with a 159, Mason with a 146, Steven Skillman with a 217, Andrew with a 277, and Dan with a 216. For Liberty, we've got Justin Bowen a 257. Zach ended on a high note there with a 266. Wanted picks up a 165. Preston a 237, and Brandon a 236. 4 out of 5 players there in the 200s. Good start for both teams. We're going to slide over to the girls here. See if we can catch you up here, guys.
So the girls are in the middle of frame 9. Jackson Memorial has continued their lead. They're about 100 pins ahead of Liberty with a frame and a half tier remaining. Looks like we've got Alexis Wands up here on lane 3. Clean game so far, except in frame 4. She had a slight open there.
A lot of hook on that one.
I think she took some knowledge there from Faith's shot over on that lane. Faith got it way out there to the left. Look at the replay. Look at her ball coming here into the 1-2 pocket, leaving just the 10 pin.
What pin's supposed to take out that 10 pin?
It's the 6 pin.
6 pin.
6 pin did not do its job.
Somebody needs to talk to the 6 pin.
Yes.
But she does pick up the 10.
Thankful for that spare ball once again.
Oh,
Doesn't hook very much.
So far, everybody on the Memorial squad here in this frame, all working on spares or strikes. Faith, she's going to get that. Yep.
Great spare there by Faith. Faith is averaging 125 this season so far.
And she's going to be probably right around there too.
Yep.
90, 20, 10, 100, 110. Yeah, be close.
Good shot there by Laura on frame 4, leaving just the 4 pin, little high. Ooh. That back pin makes that spare really tricky. She hit the 2-pin a little bit on the left. Want to hit that on the other side to take out the 8-pin.
Solid spare.
Liberty has 4 frames filled going to the 10th frame, just like Memorial does. Going into the 10th frame, it is Liberty 653 to Jackson Memorial 769.
They're going to need a little magic here to close that gap. That 100-pin gap's a pretty big gap
Yes.
to fill in 1 frame.
So on the girls' side, looks like Memorial's going to take game 1, and on the boys' side, Liberty took game 1.
That's it. Everyone pretty much bowling right around or better than their average today. On the girls' side as well.
It's nice to see such a great turnout here for this match today.
Lots of folks out here today from both teams, all supporting some of this fine bowling that's taking place today here at the Howell Lanes.
Chloe's having a great game. She's over her average of 140, leaving herself just a 3.610. It's been so much fun over these last 2 to 3 years to see how much these kids have grown, both as a person but also as a player.
Yeah, I always find that in all my years of coaching, it's always fun to see where a player starts and where a player finishes in the course of their career. Oh, that's just going to miss.
It's a little bit there to the right. But she was confident to throw her spare ball, which is a great choice. Just missed a little bit to the right. And Emily just sliding by that 2-pin. Emily a little bit under her average. I'm sure she's not overly pleased with her performance, but she's going to be ready for game 2.
And Alexandra Ramos
working on a strike. Leaving herself a nice makeable spare, the 4-7.
That's okay. I thought she was headed to Splitsville on that ball. I was like, maybe a little too square onto that head pin.
Yep.
But they did pick up their 4 pins like they were supposed to.
And she is over her average. She's having a great game here. Her average is 106. And with a spare here, she can be in the 150s. Quite a bit over her average. And Chloe as well. This looks pretty good.
Yeah, she's got it. That spare is going to give her 1 more ball.
It's nice in the 10th frame to get that little bit of bonus.
Get that little bonus ball. There's nothing like the bonus ball. And Gianna.
Grace falling short of that spare there in the 10th frame, finishing with a 175. Even with the open, she's still over her average of 161. This is a good shot.
Ooh, she got the kick.
158 finish there for Alexis.
52 pins over her average. I'm sure she's real happy about today's performance so far.
Yeah, her practice is paying off.
For sure, Gianna leaves the quite see what pin that is.
Gianna looks like she's
like the 8, right?
the 4-pin. Yep, just a little to the left of that. So this is a easy spare for her to make. Trinity with a great shot there. First shot is a strike there in the 10th frame.
Gianna is going to pick up the spare. Give her the extra ball in the 10th frame.
Trinity's having a great game herself. Her average is 126. And with a mark here, she can be in the 170s. Great game for her.
For sure. One's going to slide a little to the left.
The good thing is she's on a strike.
It is good.
It doesn't hurt, so she could have got 9. It would have been the same thing. So make the spare, get as many pins as you can, and with the spare she can shoot 170. Gianna looking to fill this up. A little bit light. with a 190. That's her average. She's averaging 190, so she'll be pleased with that.
Trinity, better ball on ball 2 there. Picks it up.
Great spare.
170. How many pins is that over her average?
That is 44 pins over her average. The
Coach
Liberty
is going to
girl.
be pretty happy about that performance.
Yes, she is.
Nice ball there for Faith.
Great shot by the senior.
JTV replay here.
Great balance, great follow through. Look at the rotation going into the 1-2. There's the 4 pins, the 1, 2, 5, 8 that the ball took out.
Looked like a knuckleball as it's bouncing off pins. I don't think she got it again. Yep.
Great shot for the double in 10th. Alexis' balance has truly improved over the last few years. She is going to further her education out at Kutztown and bowl collegiately for their program.
Good for her.
Very excited for her.
Pennsylvania, nice place to go to school. Try and finish thing out. That hangs on the edge, comes back.
Ooh,
It's going to
great
leave the
finish.
7 pin.
Great finish of a 194, and her average is 193. So these girls are,
Pretty much right on track there.
yep. Faith with the first strike there in the 10th. Looking to make it a double.
Oh, didn't get the roll there.
Faith with a spare here will shoot 130.
So we see Christy Angelo here.
Little high, leaving the 4-7 on lane 4. Makeable spare. Faith
I don't think that's
looking,
coming.
needs a lot of
I
help.
think that's going to need a lot of hook.
129 game for Faith.
Faith also over her average for the day.
Yes,
Nice
she
pickup
is.
there. Krista with a nice pickup.
Krista may be looking to try something in this fill shot here. As a player, you're always looking to improve what you have, and this is a good time to see what other possibility there might be. Little bit left there for Laura. Brooklyn shot, leaving herself just a 3-9. Krista decided to stay with that ball. Better
Nice
shot.
finish.
Ooh. I'm going to gather from that shot she probably moved a little bit left because her first shot went high. So she probably made an adjustment to the left to try to get her ball to delay the hook.
Kind of overcompensated here.
A little bit. Great spare there by Laura.
10th frame after that spare pickup. Laura's going to get a chance to add to her total. Already at 128.
With a strike here, she will score 148, be a little bit under her average of 165. Memorial will take game 1 here with a very nice 890 series. Laura finishing with a 147.
There it is. So let's wrap it up for you here in the ladies' first game. For Memorial, we've got Emily with a 143, Grace with a 175, Gianna 190, Alexis 194, Krista 188. For Liberty, we've got Chloe with a 172, Alexis with a 158, Trinity with a 170, Faith with a 129, and Laura finishing up with a 147. Memorial's going to take this one. The first game, 890 to 776. 10th frame pretty much holding up that 100-point lead they had going into it. Time for us to slide over to the guys' lanes. Get you caught up on what's going on.
Preston there with a strike on lane 5. Trying to get back underway here with a spare double in game 2. Daniel Robertson looked like he went a little bit high, leaving himself a baby split.
Looks like
Brandon
Justin Bone off to a good start here, as is Brandon. 3 strikes in a row up top. Brandon with a spare and 2 strikes. That's for Liberty from Memorial. Looks like a lot of spares up in there.
Very nice conversion by Daniel Robertson with a 3-10 split.
Pretty tight second game here, 254 to 241 with Liberty in the lead just a hair. As we enter in the 4th frame, huh?
4th frame.
Okay, the guys do play. They are playing a little bit faster. I chalk that up to the strikes.
A few more strikes. Justin continuing on with a strike there in frame 4 to make it 4 in a row. Sean Skillman a little bit light there, leaving the 2-4-5 in frame 4. One of the great things about the kids bowling and continuing their athletic careers into the collegiate level is so many of the college programs offer scholarships. Many parents out there, it's been so much fun educating them on the value of the scholarships that are available to these kids who have dedicated so much of their youth careers to the sport of bowling. There are so many colleges that offer both men and women's scholarships for the kids. For the girls, sometimes we might find those to be a little more fruitful for the fact that they are supported by the NCAA program. We don't find that to be the same case for the men. A few years back, it's been more than a few years now, colleges had to step up and offer more sports for the girls, so they took on bowling as one of their NCAA sports. So there are quite a few opportunities out there at the collegiate level for both the boys and the girls.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you can trade off an athletic career in college for an education, it's win-win for everybody, it really is. And opportunities are out there. His is a really nice pickup here.
Great spare.
Yeah, nice pickup. But you have to go out there and see what's available and find a school that's the right fit for you.
Joey Silverman, after coming in for Mason, has started this game with 4 filled frames in a row, 3 spares and a strike.
Some good substitution right there.
Good coaching.
Yeah, somebody's having a good day.
Preston up here in the 4th frame with a spare and a double. Let's make that 3 in a row.
A little off balance there at the end of that one, but kept it together enough to pick up the strike. Birthday boy Steven Skillman. Oh!
Little bit high on the left lane.
He's gonna leave the 6-pin there.
Good balance, a little bit high, leaving himself just a 2-4-7.
He's got such a high take back.
Yes, he does.
Generates a lot of speed on that.
Good spare there by Steven. One of the things that we see throughout the course of a match, in a 3-game match, with 10 players being on the lane, is the oil is definitely going to change. The scores were pretty high game 1. It's oftentimes at game 2 we'll see that score come down a little bit because of the transition. We've got 9 right-handers on the boys' side and 1 left-hander. So the traffic on the right side of the lane will make it change quite a bit more. So these players might think it was them, but they're going to have to be open-minded to that the lanes are changing, the oil's changing, that they may have to make some small adjustments. The lanes are fresh when the guys started, so the lanes will change, but this game 2 we'll see more changes, and whichever team is able to stay on top of those changes a little quicker might find themselves
In the lead.
in the lead as we get closer to the 9th and 10th frame.
And for the lefties, where the ball's entering on that side less than the right-handers? Do you feel like the oil holds up a little bit better on that side?
It will, and Brandon, being the only lefty on this pair of lanes, won't see nearly the transition that the right-handers will see. So his shot will remain the same. It'll be more up to him to continue to repeat shots. His adjustments will be a little bit different. If his ball goes high, he's the only one on that side of the lane, so he has to know, was it myself? Did I make the shot, or do I need to make the adjustment? So his lane's going to change later than it will on the right, just due to the amount of traffic. Nice spare there by Daniel.
He's got an interesting two-handed delivery, too.
Two-handed creates a lot of power.
Looks like a little more rotation, more spin too.
Agreed.
Have that extra hand on there to.
Yep. Sean's still looking for the pocket. I know he's eager to get himself a few more strikes on the board.
Justin's got. I think if you go back and look at the replay on Justin's ball, after just watching him today, you've seen him a few more times than I have. He's got a pretty smooth entry. It almost looks like he's placing the ball on the ground.
He is definitely a bit more in control. He's worked on his balance. He knows that one of the keys he feels is very important is to be balanced. And we can carry that over into a lot of sports, be it a baseball player, a tennis player. Your follow through is similar. Zach's balance was a little bit better that time, so having more control at that finish is pretty important, and that's certainly one of the things that Justin in his physical game he's really worked at improving.
I think it shows because again, if you go to the videotape on that one, he's very smooth. Kind of like to compare. If we were going to compare sports for a minute, because it's fun, he's smooth like a Roger Federer would be in tennis. Roger Federer, every time he's on the court, he doesn't look like he's working. It's just all the motions, everything is fluid. And for Justin on his release and his follow-through, very, very, very fluid.
That's definitely a great comparison. And we look at some of the other kids, and you can think of a Nadal.
Absolutely.
Right?
Actually, I was thinking about that with comparing Justin to Brandon.
Yeah.
That Brandon's probably more like a Nadal, very explosive, very physical. Okay. Yeah. And Justin looks like he's not even working, which is so Fed-like. You watch Federer play a tennis match, you're like, did he break a sweat?
Right.
What just happened? He played for 4 hours.
Yeah.
There's Wanted over there taking care of business. He's going to leave he was the 10 pin there.
Yep.
That was always my toughest pin to pick up.
That is our right-hander's biggest nightmare. And so many of the kids that I'm working with, they're like, oh, I hate the 10 pin. I hate the 10 pin. It does. And when we break it down and we explain to them, it is just standing here, hitting your target and following through. It can be that simple. And changing their mindset. Bowling, as much physical as it is, it's pretty darn mental too.
Oh, 100%. There are a lot of emotions that you have to manage out there when you're bowling. Especially, you looked at Andrew just a few minutes ago going into the 10th frame, going in with 9 strikes. I mean, You're feeling it. You're feeling it. You're crazy if you think you aren't.
Right.
Because you are. And that's true of pretty much any sport. And that physical, that mental side to the game where you figure out how to rein in your emotions so you can perform at your best is I think a tricky thing that these players, athletes are going to be dealing with for the rest of their career, honestly.
And a lot of these players, the more they play, we talk about experience, the more you get there, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get in that situation. And your mindset, a little balk there by Preston. Must not have felt like his delivery was where it needed to be. Sounded pretty good there by Daniel. Results in a strike. As I was saying, the more that they're there, the more that they feel that situation, their teammates around them, the spotlight being on them. You referred to Andrew having the first 9 strikes. Mentally, just put yourself into it. I just need to do what I did one more time.
Sure.
One more time. One more time.
That was not a kind ball.
No. Hooked high on that lane.
Yeah, and it's we talk about sports being games of inches. This is one of them.
Yes,
Talking
it
about
is.
the slightest adjustments here can be the difference between a strike and not getting a strike, or picking up a spare for that matter.
Agreed.
We see Preston here regrouping after that. Slid a little bit. Oh, just missed it. Thought he had it for a second there.
Made a really good effort at that.
His approach on that ball a little bit straighter on the spare pickup than he would on his strike ball.
Agreed.
Here comes Nadal. We were talking about this a minute ago. Let's see if our analogy holds up here, Leslie. Oh, yeah. And a nice strike ball right there. Happy with himself there.
I agree. That's a really great comparison, Nadal and Federer. Here's the replay of Brandon.
His ball has so much break to it. He is starting way out on the edge of the lane and completely coming over. That one's going to be a little bit to the right.
Sean's still trying to figure out how to strike. I know he can do it. I've seen him strike quite a bit. Here's Justin in frame 6 looking to keep his strikes going.
Yeah, and he did.
Pretty happy with that.
And again, I'll throw in here the other interesting thing about that. When you look at a Roger Federer on a tennis court, he hits a ball, you don't think he's hitting it hard, but it is. And I feel like watching Justin throw his ball that you're like, out of nowhere, it hits the pins, and there's pins everywhere. This is just fun. I'm just having a good time today.
Justin's definitely attacking the lanes a little bit straighter than some of the other players. He's using a ball that has a little bit more surface, so he's keeping a little bit of a tighter angle. You'll notice some of the players are throwing it further to the right, and it's hooking harder to the left. As time goes on, that's hard to maintain, or can be hard to maintain. So they may feel a little bit more of the transition than Justin might, because he's just keeping it a little bit straighter. Right now, for him, it's working.
Yeah, and Wanted picks up, I think Wanted just picked up a strike too.
Got a small breakdown here on lane 5. While we're waiting to get lane 5 back up on the girls' side, looks like Memorial has a slight lead over Liberty, about 30 pins after 2 frames, just about.
Preston picks up the strike.
Bringing the strikes down here for Liberty.
These guys are, as we'll get a look here at Brandon in a second. This is that strike ball again. Got that one pin upside down there. I don't know if you saw that in the corner.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. Again, you really can't appreciate it until you watch it in slow motion to see how the pins are reacting with each other. It's interesting. And I almost feel like they never do the same thing twice. Exactly the same.
It is funny how that happens.
That'd be frustrating for a bowler to know you're throwing a strike ball and then leave a pin somewhere.
Feel like you made such a great shot, and to know that something so small is changed. Brandon here with that high backswing.
Oh, you couldn't do that last time.
A little disappointed there not to make that a star frame for his team.
Why do you get that far? Because I'm right down.
They definitely hung him.
They definitely did. Joey Silverman. I'll tell you what,
there.
Coach is looking good right now.
Bonus there for Joy with the
Yeah.
high strike. Brandon shooting the 7-pin here. Better balance. Happy to fill that frame. Steven, the birthday boy here, looking for a double in frame 6.
See here, you've got, looks like Liberty with a little bit of an edge here, 574 to 425, if I'm reading that right, which I think I am.
Yeah, it looks like about 100 129 pin difference right now. However, if Andrew doubles and Danny doubles, will take 40 pins off. Be about 90 pins going into frame 7 if these two bowlers for Memorial can strike here in this frame. With that strike in the 5th, though, that double will take 20 pins off that lead for Liberty. So there's 20. Now we're down to 109 with a double here by Danny. Take that down to 89. And that would give Memorial 3 bowlers with 2 strikes in a row with those doubles in frame 5 and 6.
And we're going to head over to the ladies for a couple of frames here. We'll get back to the guys once they hit the 9th frame. Ladies, what's going on here? Memorial up 141 to looks like around 109, 110.
About 30 pin difference here.
And we are just underway here in the 3rd frame.
Chloe's ball hooking a little bit high, missing the head pin there to the left, leaving herself the 136.
Picks up the spare.
Emily filling the frame. Chloe's ready to put this spare on the board and get her girls underway.
Ooh, didn't catch enough of that one. Had a real good first game today as well.
Remember I talked about how the lanes change in game 2 so much? We'll see a little bit of this on both sides.
Alexandra. Ramos.
Looks a little high. Oh, good shot.
Just about picked that last one up.
You know, one of the things that when we're coaching, and I've had the pleasure to help out a little bit with our girls team as well, it's so much fun to explain to them when you see a single pin down there how much room they actually have. We talked about there being 39 boards on a lane. If you take a ball and you put it on each side of the pin, it actually encompasses about 17 boards of the lane.
That's quite a bit.
So it's quite a bit. So I try to teach the kids when I'm working with anyone who is, you know, eager to improve their game, how much room they actually have to make that spare. So she just missed to that just slightly to the left, but if you take the ball and the pin and the ball, it's 17 boards wide.
That's. I'll tell you what. I think that would probably make most players feel a little more comfortable, because I know that from experience that when they are looking down the lane at that single pin, they are feeling like they're on an island by themselves. And when you break it down that way, that's simply not the case. Their odds are actually a lot better than they think they are.
So the only 2 pins that doesn't work for is the 7 and the 10. So outside of that, it definitely improves hopefully improves your overall outlook. So you know what, I can make this.
Gianna Massey
made the spare there in frame 3. Trinity looking to fill her frame. Fell off slightly.
Wow, just misses there. A little late break there.
A little bit of a balance issue there. Probably fell off a little bit, and she was worried about not falling. Changed her follow through just slightly. Alexis here on lane 4 left the 4-7. Just like Brandon over during the boys match, she is one of just 2 left-handers, so she might see a little bit more change. Her and Faith are the only left-handers on the ladies' side, so they just have to have an awareness of what's going on and how quickly the lanes are changing for them.
There's the other lefty, one right after the other. Ooh, that's going to get picked up.
Happy to fill that frame.
They don't know the facts. They don't know the proof.
Oh, that looks
going to hang in there pretty good. Oh, just missed. I made the call too soon.
Just a little bit. So close. Too bad you don't get points for being close, right?
Yeah, that would be nice. Horseshoes and hand grenades. I guess
Right.
that doesn't count for bowling,
No.
unfortunately. How important is the wrist follow through for the rotation?
The wrist is important as well as your fingertips. Great shot there by Laura. You know, one of the things that we work with quite a bit with a lot of the players is in your push away, you want to keep your wrist straight. So if you watch, like Krista here, for example, her wrist is nice and straight. She's keeping it straight during her backswing, and as she follows through, the ball's in front of her hand. That's definitely going to help. Also, what's really important is keeping your shoulders up. A lot of the players like to lean forward, which actually drives your ball into the front part of the lane, which takes away the momentum and the power.
Right.
It's better to have your ball enter the lane more like an airplane on a runway, so that it just glides into the lane instead of pushing into the lane.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Great shot there by Emily.
How important balance is out here, just like in most sports, that keeping those shoulders back a bit.
You want the ball to swing underneath your shoulders. It's like a pendulum. So the more that when you push away, your ball can just swing under your shoulder and then back through, it's very, very good.
There we go, first tally of the day.
Some of the players have a tendency to allow their ball to wrap around their back, so that actually has an effect on the way your follow through comes back through and onto the lane, because you have to get it back around your body. So if you can just keep that swinging under your shoulder and then back, it makes it a lot easier and easier to repeat.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the tough thing. The tough thing here in this sport, like in most sports, where ooh, that's a good pickup.
Great spare there by Chloe.
Where you've got to repeat these. You're repeating this same throw.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times in the course of a bowling matchup? It's quite a bit of time.
And you'll notice Grace has a wrist device on, a wrist support that helps to promote her wrist staying straighter, like we had just spoken about, which for the girls, sometimes our wrists aren't quite as strong as some of on the guy's side. And Grace also is wearing one. Gianna, excuse me.
Good ball there for Alexandra.
Now she holds the ball quite a bit out here in front of her. Good swing underneath. Great follow through. Oh.
That's not a kind split right there.
No, and we'll notice that she did split on this lane the last time that she was here, so she may have felt that it was just her and she needed to make a better shot. She may realize now that she needs to make an adjustment on the lanes. Oh, great spare.
Good pickup there. She looked like she was aiming that one. Let's see if she can pick two of these up. Yep. Nice pickup. That'll help her confidence a little bit later when she gets that same, if she gets that same setup later on. She picked that one up pretty comfortably.
She sure did. Here's Trinity.
Didn't quite get a little bit light to the right, I would have to guess, on that head pin.
Little bit light. She'll make a 3 or 4 board move to the right with her feet. We talked about how important those boards were at the beginning of our match. For this spare, the 2 pin is her key pin. She'll just want to move 3 or 4 boards to the right, hit that strike target, make a great shot, fill that frame. See an awareness here. She definitely knows where her feet are and how she's lining up.
Boards right there,
she
Coach.
is. Good balance, good follow through.
She got,
Great effort at the spare.
Pretty solid ball for her. Doesn't pick up the spare, but
looks like Memorial has taken on about an 80-pin lead over Liberty. The Jackson Memorial girls are leading the conference so far. They have won 24 games. They are undefeated this season.
that is impressive. This
Freehold
tough Memorial squad today.
Yeah, they really have, with the addition of Emily and Gianna this year to the team, they really have improved. Even like on the boys' side, we talked about earlier with those 2 freshmen as a coach, how eager that is, how exciting that is to see that in your lineup. And with Gianna, she's been a great addition to their roster.
Well, that could explain part of their success is that they are solid 1 through 5 all the way through the lineup.
They've extended that record to 25-0 now.
That's impressive.
It is. For those of you who were listening in with Justin Bonehead, the front 7, he's now working on 8 in a row. Let's make that 9 strikes in a row.
And we are going to head over to the boys now to finish up this game 2 here. After we see Face last attempt to pick up this little tough spare here. A lot of pins up there. Got a pretty good rotation. Ooh.
Oh.
Not enough kick out there. What do you think? A little more speed might have helped that ball a little more power?
You are absolutely right. A little more speed on Face shot is definitely going to help improve her ball going through the pins a little bit stronger. More ball speed can easily be obtained by a little more foot speed. So sometimes people think that we can pick that up, increase that momentum by just our arm swing, but actually your foot speed will dictate your ball speed.
Good to know. Ooh, just misses the pin there. We'll get you caught up here as we get back into the guys matchup here. We've got Liberty up 824 to 688 here. We are just underway in the 9th frame now. Justin with 9 strikes in a row. And Zach just picks up a spare here. That'll carry him into the 10th. Everybody else on that Memorial Liberty lineup all working on marks there in the 9th frame, or entering the 9th frame. Memorial, same thing. Got a close one going over here again.
It is John Winott with a double there in the 8th and 9th frame.
Silverman
looking to convert the 3-6-10 spare.
Ooh, just misses it by a hair.
Not happy with that delivery. A little disappointed.
I mean, sometimes we'll hear the ball drop louder on some players than others. Technique-wise, some folks are actually throwing the ball a little bit further into the court, into the lane, right?
Yeah, throwing it a little bit more, or not quite releasing it back to that airplane a little bit. More into the lane than out onto the lane.
Pretty smooth entry there. Ooh, good ball. Ooh, wait. Let's take a look at that one again, folks, because the pin reaction on that one is fantastic.
And Preston's reaction says it all.
Take a look here.
Ball hit.
Kicks him, and they both fell at almost the exact same time, those last two.
The 4-6, the last two to fall.
Brandon. Whoa! That one spun for a second. Wasn't sure it was going down. He is happy about that. Brandon picks up the strike there in the 9th frame. That'll give him 2 going into the 10th. That's always nice.
You'll notice the scores are a little bit lower this game, like we spoke about. Justin's just taken over where Andrew left off, trying to match that. Let's see if he can take it 1 or 2 or 3 shots a little bit further than Andrew did game 1. But we typically will see game 3 pick back up because the guys will be a little more adjusted to the transition that the lanes have gone through. The players all around definitely will get a little more comfortable, feel a little bit better, feel a little bit more confident about their moves, and maybe even their ball choices. Some of our players may have made some ball changes. So much play on this pair of lanes with 10 players on one pair of lanes.
How many different balls does Justin have? Does he throw how many balls?
Justin brought 6 today to the
balls.
competition. So those balls will range from his plastic ball, which will be your least hooking ball, to your most hooking ball. And you'll have different shots or different bowling balls in there that hook more, hook earlier, hook later. For those who play golf, a really good analogy is more clubs in your bag.
Whatever it takes.
So I'm not you have different clubs for different distances. You have your putter when you're on the green. You have, you know, all those different clubs that make a difference. And we can relate to that in bowling just the same. That it takes more hook early, more hook later. Just
Gotcha. And here he is. He's getting set as he's going to lace up here as he's going to enter the 10th frame. He is perfect so far. Sure those shoelaces are right. It's Sean Skillman there. We'll get back to Justin here, who's ready to roll. 10th frame. Ball 1 for Bone. Justin, that is. Release. Oh, and he left one. It's still rolling. Pretty much the same thing there that happened to Andrew happened to Justin there.
sure
He's gonna
did.
leave a pin. It was a good ball though.
Great shot, just a little bit high. Looked like a solid release.
Let's see how he recovers here after the again Justin Jr.
Leaving
Be around for one more year.
Yes, he will be.
And he picks up the spare. I would like to say easily, but as often there's a great picture of Justin.
Look at that picture. We've
That
got.
is a good one, boy. Hopefully he didn't see that before he went to bowl. Hopefully he didn't look up.
I think maybe Brandon saw that. He'll make sure he lets him know.
Okay, as long as he lets him know after the shot.
Exactly. Nice focus. Way to regroup. Nice spare there by Joey in the 10th frame, making the 6 pin, putting that on the board.
So Justin finishes his second game up with a solid 279. What's his high on the year?
His high on the year so far is he's had a 300, not in high school bowling. So I can tell you that there's quite a bit of competition between those two brothers on that team.
Oh, I'm sure.
Brandon does hold the high game so far this season in high school bowling with a 300. I know Justin I'm pretty confident he was thinking about that. If I could just get this first shot and then the second one, I've got a chance to
Absolutely.
at least tie my brother.
Always fun to have a little competition between. I had two brothers. Everything was a competition. Didn't matter if it was a sport or the last piece of chicken on the table. It was a competition.
Well, I can tell you that's the same in our house as well.
And some news just in here from our crack. We got a reporter out there that let's see, that Mason Palace will be in for Sean Skillman, who's been struggling a bit that last game. Have a little substitution going on there. And Zach Austin picks up the spare there, and he'll try and finish this game off. Nice hook. Oh, just misses it.
Leaving himself just the 4 pin, finishes with a 183, down a little bit from his 266 start.
Had 7 strikes in a row in that first game. But marked quite a bit in this game. Picks up a 183, his average. A 194, right around his average. So
Yep.
Zach having a good day and wanted. There it is, buddy. I gave it to you again. Picks up a 3rd strike in a row here. Here's a little opportunity here. Looks like a little bit of it. Got a few open frames there in this game, but we'll see. I'm trying to do the math here.
If
I'm not
John,
doing a very good job
that's
here.
okay. If John gets the next 2 strikes, he can finish with a 201 game.
All right, look at that. Jump from 111 to 201.
Those strikes add up
Oh,
fast.
they sure do. And that's what he's going to finish with.
There we go. There's 2.
Let's see the
One
math.
more.
Here we go.
John's average is 197, so he'll be right over his average. Steven throwing that last strike there in the fill ball for a 216 game.
Skillman having a good day out here, Steven.
He's making the most of his birthday.
He really is. You know, hey, Skillman family, I think the man needs to go out for some ice cream later. I don't know. Or Applebee's or something.
Well, we have this little mantra in our Friday Night League. If they get 5 strikes in a row, they get ice cream.
Oh, yes.
So I'm sure that's going to carry on. You said he had 4 there, so maybe he can one more?
That would be my motivation. That's
I like
all I
it.
would need. Ice cream's a good motivator. As Wanted finishes with a 200 that game.
Nice game for
Which
John.
basically equates to my last 3-game series, I think, that I bowled. But
I'm sure these boys would be happy to take you out for a day of
I'm
bowling.
sure they would.
Andrew figured things out with a few splits there at the beginning of game 2. 9 spare with a double here in the 10th.
Preston's going to leave that nasty 10-pin there. Andrew Klein. Oh,
Great shot.
Was a good shot. Like a
Not
solid
sure.
strike ball.
Could have been a ball change. Would have been a great time to do that for the fact that it was the fill shot of the 10th frame. He was close. He knew what he had with the other ball. First 2 strikes. Good time to see if there's another ball in your bag that might
Work better.
give you a little more. Absolutely.
Nice pickup there by Preston as he takes out the 10-pin. That'll earn him a free ball here over 194. That's going to push him over 200 no matter what he does here.
Daniel with the 10-pin there, first shot in the 10th. So some of these players are experiencing more and more 10-pins. They definitely have found a great path to get to the pocket, to get really close. Now they just need to fine-tune what it is they're doing, be it with the ball or maybe a small hand adjustment that they can make to carry that 10-pin.
It's interesting to watch how, you know, what kind of pin is taking out the 10-pin, which pin is taking that pin out. And it's a lot of different. Of course, it's always interesting to watch the lefties throw.
Yeah, and Brandon's shot hasn't changed too much throughout the course of the day.
Yeah, you can see they're going to give us a replay here, and we can actually get a good look at that. Such a high take back from him.
The 1, 2, 5, and 8 pin are the only 4 pins that his ball touches.
A little bit short to the left side there.
Brandon with the spare will finish with a 212.
Preston finished with a solid 214.
Brandon with a 212.
And let's see, that's going to have the Liberty team finish up with 1,088. Just 100, roughly 80 pins short of what they did in that first game. You were right about a little bit of a fall off here in game 2, but probably the reason why they were even close to that first score is because pretty consistent down the lineup there. And Justin coming away with a big 279 there to lead the pack, so to speak. But everybody else pretty close to their average, I'd have to guess, based on that one.
Yeah, I know Memorial is going to be doing what they need to do right now to figure out how to take game 3, keep this close. And the Liberty boys are going to be eager to take 3 games from Memorial.
Yeah, there's not going to be a fall off here for the Liberty squad.
No.
I can tell you that much. They're going to definitely try to pick up the third game here, because that's what they want to do here. And we'll bounce back over to the girls for a minute.
Ooh, with a great shot there by Gianna Masi, looking to make that a double, leaving a solid 10 pin.
And if you just, we're rejoining the ladies game here. We've got Memorial up. Pretty big lead here in game 2, 548 to 385. Looks like the Memorial girls are having themselves a good game here.
Looking to continue their undefeated season.
That is impressive in any sport. And especially in a sport like this where there's ebb and flow to the lanes, my friend. And remember, in that first game, Liberty able to keep it close. There were 3 or 4 girls there that bowled significantly above their average there. You know, in game 2, struggling maybe a little bit more here.
Yep. We're seeing it on the girls' side just like we did over here during the boys' match. Scores coming down slightly. Both teams having to make the necessary adjustments to keep their ball in the pocket, staying focused on their spares. You know, one of the things about our sport, too, is just the amount of time that the kids are competing. Although, you know, from a physical standpoint, one might look at our sport and say, oh, late strike
Got the fall there. That was a late one, huh?
By Trinity. Might not be quite as, you know, similar to football. There's more contact, but we're on our feet a lot. We're going to need to get here on lane 3. Faith doesn't have the 5 pin. They're going to need to reset this.
To reset that. That pin falls down at the very last. I didn't even see anything hit that.
Laura left the 7 pin here on lane 3. However, we're going to have a small delay. Once Laura makes this spare, Faith will have to deliver her shot. She was missing a pin.
Missing a pin?
Missing a pin.
Didn't even know that was possible.
Hate to see that happen. She'll just repeat that shot and do it one more time and strike again.
There you go.
Laura looking to fill her frame.
The rules on that one is what? You reset the pins and throw a fresh ball?
You got it. They'll just have to make sure there's a full rack. They'll go ahead and take care of that now. Sometimes you're so focused on your target and the shot that you're going to make that you lose sight of the pins. So it's important as a player and the other teammates to just have an awareness and making sure.
Let you know that everything's there.
Yep.
Gotcha. Here they go correcting Faith here. Computers, and she'll get a fresh ball here.
So hopefully Faith can just repeat that shot.
I'll be rooting for her here.
Never like to see a strike taken away, but nonetheless, she needs a full rack of pins.
She throws here. Ball starting to hook
I like it.
Into a good spot. She got it.
Good for her.
Like to see.
All right, well, let's just keep doing that. She's lined up now. Wouldn't it be nice if that counted as a double?
Came back with the strike. That's
She is ready.
She found her spot now. Let's keep hitting that mark.
Emily Fogarty up here on the left lane, looking to make it 3 strikes in a row.
Oh, just missed there.
A little bit high, looking for some help off of the side wall there, taking out the 3 pin. See if Chloe can keep some of this positive momentum going here.
Chloe's had a good day so far.
Yes, she has.
An open frame in the 7th, but 8, 9, 10. Get back on track here towards the end of this one.
That looks pretty close.
Pocket pretty nice. Looked like the 7-pin and the 8-pin were fighting with each other. Nice pickup over there by Emily.
They need to communicate correctly and make sure they knock down any other pins that are
yes,
standing.
Yes, they do. I don't know what's up with those guys. They need to have a talk. If you've never held a pin in your hand, they're a lot heavier than you think they are, folks.
They are. A little over 3.5 pounds, just under 4 pounds for each pin.
What do you think the average ball weight is for the girls? What do you think most of them are throwing?
On the ladies' side, for Liberty, it is about 12. And on the Memorial side, I would say the average weight is 14.
No
kidding. A little bit heavier, yep.
What are the guys throwing if the girls are throwing 12 and 14 pounds?
The guys are probably all 15. There may be 1 or 2 of the guys throwing 16, which is the maximum amount of weight of a bowling ball. The Memorial girls, a little more experienced. Liberty, we have a young team over here. So the girls are just getting started, but as soon as they learn the skills and just learn the technique, they'll quickly be able to handle the little bit higher weight.
Heavier ball, got ya.
And with a little bit of a heavier ball also comes from that scientific side of it, a little bit of a stronger ball. So if you were to cut a ball in half, you'd see the core that's inside of it. So with the lower weight balls, the core is not as strong and dense as it will be in the heavier bowling balls. So you'll see balls deflecting and not going through the pins quite the same as you do on the boys' side as you do on the girls' side. Now, you know, Alexis and Gianna and Emily and Krista, those girls, stronger bowling balls, stronger cores, stronger through the pins.
Makes sense.
Good balance, good rotation.
Got that one.
Great shot. Textbook. I know Grace has been working hard on her game. I've said that about a few of the players, but they're improving their skills by taking lessons away from, you know, their high school practices, trying to learn one more thing and make them, you know, the best that they can be.
So Leslie, if I throw a ball in the gutter and it pops out of the gutter and takes out a pin, is that a legal shot?
That is not legal.
That is not legal?
No, it's not. It might be on Saturday night.
That's the only night I'm bowling.
And you can have your own rules then because you're probably the rule maker at that point.
It's always so exciting to see a ball pop out and clip something. Once it's in the gutter, it's pretty much out, huh?
It's called a dead ball.
Okay. Little Splitsville here. You ever have a chance to bowl in the Splitsville out there in Orlando and Disney World? It's fun.
I have not.
It's
Definitely.
like a fancy schmancy eating place and some fun bowling. Kind of 1950s motif they got there. It's fun. Ooh, that ball just hooks the last second.
Looked like she lost her balance a little bit too. That balance is just so important. Trinity looking to at least get 2 of these.
And she got him.
It's good.
I don't know that there's a way to pick that one up. You'd have to really...
Similar to your shoot pool?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so how you like slice it or cut it, you know, to get it to go across the table. Very similar in the game of bowling. For Trinity, if she's shooting a 10 pin is definitely the pin that she wants to focus on. She wants to just hit the right side of that 6 pin and hope she can slide it across the lane. That's going to be pretty close.
Too bad, trying to get a little bounce there.
Faith just needs to keep up her momentum there.
Working on a spare and a strike, so wouldn't hurt her to pick up a spare here as she will enter the 9th frame. We're in the 8th frame here in the ladies' game 2 here.
Memorial's lead is about 164 pins. Currently, they have a team score of 668. I think I said Liberty, I mean Memorial. They've extended their lead over Liberty.
Ooh, another nice strike ball there by Krista.
Great shot.
She's got herself a nice game going.
Krista's average so far is 185 during this high school season.
Ooh, just missed. It's a pretty high average.
Yes, it is. She's doing really well. They've got Emily at 177, Grace at 161, Gianna 190 as a freshman, Alexis the senior 193, and Krista with a 185. Real solid team.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see why that Memorial girls team is undefeated at this point. That is pretty solid, 1-5.
They've had a great season so far. And the camaraderie that the 5 girls have amongst themselves is really fun to see. See a lot of team spirit, you know, talking to each other, communicating. See it right here, trying to figure out what they're going to do in these last 2 frames.
As we enter the 9th frame here, give you a quick update on the boys here without heading over there to it. We've got the Liberty team with a 120 and Memorial up with a slight lead there at 137.
Laura just sliding by
Get back to that after the conclusion of this game. We'll go over to the boys. We're going to stick with the girls for this one.
2 frames remaining here for the girls on lanes 3 and 4 here at Howell.
Always my favorite 2 frames to bowl, always 9 and 10. Just always more exciting to see what you can do in the 9th frame to set up the 10th frame.
That's right. Emily, look at focused on her target. Little bit light.
Sometimes you can get away with that shot being a little bit light if your ball's got a little more velocity to it, I suppose. Try and get those pins to do a little more damage in there. Oh, doesn't get a break on that one. I thought that was a pretty good strike ball.
That was a pretty good shot there by Chloe, leaving herself just 9, or leaving 1, knocking down 9, which adds up with her score really nicely. She was on a spare. Oh. Emily just sliding by the 5-pin. Scores add up so much quicker with those spares and then getting a great first ball count when you do have those spares. She's changed to her spare ball here, which goes straighter so she can throw right at it.
And she got it. Put her in a good position as she enters the 10th frame in a bit.
Grace.
Oh! Looked like the Jersey slide right there. Let's take a look at that one again, guys. I'm sure all you folks on the Garden State Parkway are familiar with the Jersey slide, so let's get a look at what the Jersey slide looks like. This is bowling style Jersey slide. Little bit light that way, and then, oh, let's just slide off to the right. And off we go.
Keep tumbling.
And it stayed up, too.
Scooted right
stayed
over
up in
and
the gutter.
stood there.
Just stood there.
Grace is pretty happy with that. She probably wasn't overly excited about her delivery, but the fortunate result was positive. Oh.
That was a good strike ball. I was going to leave that 10-pin.
Gianna's looking to fill this frame. She's had 2 9 misses in frame 7 and 8. Trinity with, oh, a great shot there, leaving just a 7-pin.
Trying to get those pins reacting the right way. A little frustrating.
It is frustrating, and we just like to remind all the kids at this level, 9 is a great shot. Just fill your frame, and let's move on to the next one. Gianna focused here on the spare.
And pulls up just a bit.
She's going to have to make a slight adjustment on those right side spares. Oh!
Oh, a little too much hook.
Little too much. Alexis here.
Hit the pocket, hit that head pin a little too straight on, I think. I go for the 2. I go for the, is that the 9 and the 10 pin?
That is the 4-6-10 for Alexis.
4-6-10. That one's
Oh! Faith was watching Grace's shot.
I think she was.
That looked like a carbon copy of what Grace just did.
It really was. It just kind of slid. Just going to pick up 2 of those. Laura and Krista now ready to go as Faith picked up a nice strike there in the 9th frame. Little too head on there.
A little high on that head pin. Although the 3-pin and the 7-pin are quite a distance apart, this is pretty makeable. Just slide your ball a little bit to the right side of that and slide it over. Oh, look at.
Ooh, it's wobbling.
It was.
It's wobbling. All right, so this is a makeable one. If she
It is.
Let's see what her angle is here.
Let's go, Laura. Show us how.
Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, you're hoping to get the ball to slide a little further to the left. Pretty close.
It was close. Krista focused here on her spare with her 4-step delivery.
Nope, just missed it
Just missed it.
by a hair.
You will notice on the pairs that we're watching here today, if you're right-handed and you take a 4-step delivery, you start with your right foot and you finish on your left foot. And of course, it's the opposite for our left-handers. Our left-handers will, on a 4-step delivery, they'll start with their left foot and finish on their right foot. And the reason being is you certainly want to that helps with your balance. If you're right-handed, your balance finishes on your left foot, so you keep everything right in line.
Sure, makes a lot of sense. I remember early on, a lot of bowlers early on are like wrong footing their deliveries, and until they get that worked out.
So you'll notice Chloe
balance is
here.
So important.
It sure is. Start with her right foot and then finish on her left foot.
Yep. Not using her legs a whole lot. You know, come on, that pin's still spinning.
Emily focused on her target. We can see her eyes there.
Ooh, nice delivery. Didn't quite get the pin reaction she was looking for there.
Emily with a spare here can finish with a 185 game,
Solid.
which is over her average of 177.
That is always a good thing. Chloe here, sitting on a 139 right now. See if she can pick this up and get that bonus ball. And it's still
Looking
breaking.
pretty good.
She got it.
Great shot there. With that spare, Chloe's over her average.
Honestly, in a matchup like this, for Liberty coming into a team as strong as the Memorial Girls team, undefeated coming into this one, everybody knew they had the bowl above their average. And so far, they've been doing that. I think that's a good sign for the Liberty, for that young Liberty team. And
those girls they should be proud of themselves. They've stepped up to the plate. They've put a lot of spares together on the board, you know, where they are in their young careers, learning. It's been just such a joy to see the advancement that these girls have made and the confidence that they have gained over the last month and a half. Great shot.
Finishes with another pin standing up in the back of the gutter area.
Chloe's
We
lead.
got 2 strikes in a row here. Nope. And that's going to have Chloe finishing her day, game 2 anyway, with a 159. Not bad.
Over her average again. Alexandra. Touch the head pin.
Come on, come back a little. It's not so bad considering that missed way left.
Makeable spare.
Right in the middle, like right where I like it.
Yeah, try to make that first shot one more time. Just make a small adjustment.
Grace is going to pick that up. Or actually, that was Alex. No, it's right the first time. That was Grace.
That was Grace, yep. Grace is going to be about 30 pins over her average with a strike here on her fill shot.
Oh, just misses.
Once again, over her average too. These girls should be proud of themselves. Bowling above their average against this strong Memorial team.
Helped herself out a little bit there. And Grace is going to finish with a 189. Wouldn't be surprised if it was over her average.
Yeah, averaging 161 coming into today. So she's 28 pins over her average this game and 14. She's almost 45 pins over average for her series so far, which is outstanding.
Trinity throws a strike here to start out the 10th frame.
And great teamwork here by Memorial. Gianna is struggling a little bit today with those 3 9 opens in a row. She can strike out here for 149, but her average is 190. So the other girls are picking up.
Her up.
Yep.
Oh. Finally, a little bit of a relief for her.
Probably saying, thankfully I don't have to shoot
Have
another
to shoot
spare.
it. Darn 10 pin.
I think there's many times that we've all been there, said, you know what? Can I just have a free one?
Yeah, just give me one. Somebody. Trinity gonna get a chance to pick up that last pin. See Gianna here would not mind striking out here in the 10th frame. Pretty good ball. Oh, got the kick again.
She's thankful.
Little pin action that was missing in the last couple of frames.
Probably said, you know what? The other girls are picking me up. Let me just figure out what I need to do to get back into the groove.
Yeah. 'Cause they're gonna get into a third game, and you know she wants to be in good form when she gets there.
Trinity with a nice spare there, finishes with a 123. Just a few pins under her average.
Oh, that's best strike ball she's had in a while there.
That certainly was a nice finish. She's familiar with that form.
Yeah, there it is. Little lower than her average, but finding her true form at the end.
Double there by Faith. Look at that smile on her face.
Faith's had 1, 2, 3, 4 strikes in this game.
Alexis is smiling with that first strike there in the 10th frame. On lane 3. Faith looking to make this into a turkey.
I'm a little hungry. Let's see it. Pretty good. Come on, rotate a little more. A little bit high.
Looks like she picked up her ball speed a little bit. See how her ball's staying on target so much longer before it's hooking so violently? Double there in the 10th frame by Alexis. With a spare here for Faith, she'll shoot a 146, which is 20 pins over her average.
And she had a good first game too, so. Oops.
Oh,
All right. Pushed off to the left there. Pretty solid, 144 for Faith. And Alexis is going for strike number 3 in a row. Little light on the head pin.
They sure have had a nice 10th frame here for the Memorial girls.
They have.
Solid
Alexis finishes
finish.
with a 160. Laura not particularly happy with her first ball.
No, she's split here in the 9th and 10th frame. This one a little more difficult to make.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good ball.
So Laura will finish up with a 145.
Pretty good numbers. Liberty puts together a 686 series.
A little lower than game 1, but still certainly with a few of their players having some of their best days.
And Krista takes care of her last ball. Picks up the spare. That'll give her that extra opportunity.
With a strike here, Crystal shoot 192. Their team will finish with 875.
And she picks, oh, slow, close. She's going to finish that game with a 191. And as we wrap up game 2 for the ladies, we'll start with Liberty. Chloe with a 159. Alexandra with a 115. Trinity with a 123. Faith with a 144. Laura 145. For Memorial, who's going to take away the winning game 2, we've got Emily with a 185. Grace a 189. Gianna struggled a little in that second game with a 149, but came back strong at the end. Alexis with a 160, and Krista 191. Time for us to slide over to the guys now who are probably mid-game now. They are. We're going to stay with this one till the end, guys.
Ooh, we picked this up in a close match, just 2 pins.
That's the closest it's been all day.
Yes, it has. It looks like Memorial has a slight advantage as we get started here in frame 6.
You can see here a couple of pins separating the difference. We did have one substitution here. We had Mason Palace come in for Sean Skillman. And Matt.
Looks like Matt Harney has replaced Joey Silverman.
That's what we've got.
Matt started off with 4 filled frames, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, and looked like he fell open there in frame 5, looking to regroup here in frame 6. Zach Austin looking
Austin
to make
off
this.
to a good start there,
Yes,
huh?
he is.
And he gets a pretty good pin action there.
Leaving himself just a 3-pin.
This must be Matt.
Matt copied Zach, leaving himself just a 3-pin. Remember, I was talking about those 17 boards to make that spare for both of these boys. They have the whole left side and the whole right side.
So all you really need to do on this ball is throw your strike ball pretty close to your strike ball, right?
Throw your strike ball, just move your feet just 3 or 4 boards to the left. Some of these players will use that spare system. Some players are going to pick up a plastic ball, but for the most of these kids, you're just going to move a little bit to the left. Oh, and he threw it a little too far to the right on that shot.
A little bit.
Leaving himself an open frame.
Wanted.
Looks like his ball went a little bit high.
Little Splitsville over there. Steven Skillman, the birthday boy.
Going high again, leaving himself the 4-7. Looks like he struggled on this frame, or on this lane, in the last time he was on this side.
Interesting to see how... Oh, he picked it up. We got to see that one again.
Great spare.
Wanted with a sweet shot there to pick up that split. We'll take a look at that again as you see Skillman. Steven, birthday boy, picks up his spare. Let's get a look at that last split, guys, on the bus. This is John Wanted.
Nice shot there by Andrew, leaving a solid 10-pin.
Ah, the dreaded 10-pin. Oof. Pretty much leaves the same one that Wanted had there, only on the other side. Wanted's still talking about it. Yeah, I got that.
He's pretty excited about that split conversion.
I'll show you guys how I did that again later. That's what he's talking about.
Andrew looking to put that spare on the board there for his Memorial team. He found his groove going in this last game. He started with the first 4 strikes in a row in this 3rd game.
Preston's going to leave that that frame open. And Brandon steps up to the line, ready to go. And I'd have to say, based on his reaction,
it's like we have a strike on the board.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good shot by Brandon. So Liberty has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks going into frame 7. And Memorial has 4 marks. So slight lead has changed hands back to Liberty. Close match here with 4 frames left.
Absolute close one here. We get to see Justin bowling again.
Justin trying to figure out how to start striking, get back into 10 in the pit. 6 filled frames in a row with 1 double.
And he
There we
picks
go.
up the strike.
Looking to keep the strikes going
Pretty nice
for
ball.
them. Mason with a real nice shot there on lane 5, leaving himself just the 10 pin. Zach stepping up here on the right lane, looking to follow Justin's lead. A little bit high with just a 6-10 left to make. These boys are glancing up at the scores, realizing how close this match
it is. Yeah.
Mason failed to convert that 10 pin. Matt stepping up here to get them back on the right track here.
Yeah, the Liberty guys would certainly like to take a sweep today. They can stay focused. And the Moses Memorial guys trying to do everything they can to prevent that from happening.
Yes,
Pretty
they
nice
are.
pickup there.
Oh, there's a great shot by Matt. I'm sure that makes him feel really, really good after the 2 opens in frames 5 and 6. That same 10 pin.
That darn 10 pin, I'm telling you.
You know, it's one of those things that the later that we go and, you know, we're getting close to the finish, there's been 2.5 games, lots of traffic, lots of bowling balls have gone down the lanes. So your ball starts to hook early, so you move left. So then when you throw it further to the right, sometimes it doesn't hook as much, so you've got to just keep readjusting those angles, making those fine-tune adjustments with your hand to get that 10 pin out.
Oh, he just picked it up.
Great shot there by
Good job, Wanted.
Senior John.
Birthday boy, Skillman, picking his spare up. Happy birthday, buddy.
Just have to knock it over.
That's it. Preston picks up the strike.
Keeping their frame clean. Andrew, little bit light on that lane, leaving himself 4 pins left to fill his frame.
Brandon, he's got 2 strikes under his belt in a row here. And he's gonna leave one.
Great shot there by Brandon.
Dreaded 7 pin. I believe that's the right-handed, that's the lefty equivalent of the 10, right?
It is, it is. Andrew chopped that spare there in frame 7. That's a tricky one.
That is a trick.
You know, you want to make sure you get that back pin and then your ball hooks just enough at the end and it chops it and leaves the 5 pin. Ooh. It's a second missed 7 pin there by Brandon.
Brandon left that frame open there.
Lost a little bit of his focus. Needs to really regroup and lean on his teammates a little bit to pick him up here.
Looks like Liberty after 7. Liberty with a slight lead there, 610 to 583.
Yeah, and they have one more mark in frame 7. So they'll look to, it's just about staying focused, filling frames, and watching what your ball does. Lead off here, Justin with the strike, making that a double.
A lot of good action on his ball.
Mason answers. Lead off bowlers matching each other there with
That's it.
strikes.
That's always fun to see.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that must have missed by, I don't know what.
Faith missed just by a hair. Yeah.
Zach Austin. Oh,
Going Brooklyn, losing his balance slightly, leaving himself just the 10 pin. That 10 pin shows up whether they're Brooklyn or in the pocket.
Matt picks up another strike.
Outstanding double
It's 2
there
in a row.
by Matt Harney.
Already
know.
making a case for himself today.
And I know he's a little bit nervous. He he's been working really hard on his game, and I know he feels a little extra pressure every time they pull him over into that varsity role, even though that's what you're hopeful for. When you get that chance, you're like, okay, here's my opportunity.
Especially on such a strong squad.
Yes.
You know, the squad is a very strong squad.
That will certainly help his confidence.
For sure. Live ball there for
10 pin by John, and Memorial's
wanted.
answered with 3 strikes here in this frame.
bad break for Andrew there. That looked like a, dare I say, perfect ball, but
Beat himself with a makeable spare.
yeah, for sure.
John, fill this frame here with a 10 pin.
Picked it up.
There you go. Memorial's definitely cutting into this lead with those strikes that they're posting here in frame 8.
They are. Liberty with 1 strike so far, Memorial with 3. And with a 10 or a 15 pin lead, this is, this 9th and 10th frame is going to be fun.
These are the 2 frames you like.
Ah, these are my 2 favorite.
Daniel going a little bit high, leaving the 3-6 on lane 6. He was really hoping to make that into a double going into those last 2 frames. Daniel chopped that spare there in the frame 8, and Brandon got back on the right track here with a strike in the 8. So close match with just 2 frames remaining.
Looks like Liberty in the lead, 698 to 6. Looks like a 61 to me. It's kind of hard to tell. Those numbers aren't exactly accurate though because of the number of strikes. Memorial with 1, 2, 3 strikes going in. Liberty with 2. Actually, Liberty with 3 strikes and 2 spares.
Yeah, Liberty has gained about a 57 pin lead with 2 frames to go. So it's still anybody's match.
For sure, these last 2 frames will definitely tell the tale here. As this has been the closest game all day.
Closest, it sure has.
At one point they were 2 pins separated by 2 pins.
Yeah, and it's close. It's definitely coming down to these last final shots.
Zach Austin hoping that pin spinning in the back would catch the other one, but it didn't. Interesting, Zach's back, his take back's interesting. It actually comes back and almost around him a little bit.
Yeah, his backswing, Zach has a unique delivery that his backswing comes behind his back, creating somewhat of a figure 8. So he has to get it back and then figure 8 back around to get it back in line.
Back in line, gotcha. He'll take a look at it here, folks. It's pretty unique. Back around, not as much on that one.
So he really opens his shoulder, which in the game of bowling, you try to have not as much movement in your shoulders left to right because it's hard to repeat that. So the more you open it up, the more you have to close it.
Sure.
So sometimes you may open it up to like a 40-degree angle and then 60 and 9, it's hard to repeat that and maintain that. So you don't want to you want to limit that movement.
Especially as you get, obviously, folks, as you are throwing more balls in the course, by the time you get to game 3, I don't care how old you are, fatigue is going to start to set in a little bit.
Yeah,
just because of the number of balls you're throwing.
Absolutely, and of course, less strikes you throw, you're still throwing more shots. So you're throwing your first shot, then your spare shot. Biggest key is hopefully you can just throw 1 and be done.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That's a rare occasion for me, so.
I told you, I'm sure these boys will give you a lesson or 2.
Oh, I'm sure they would.
They'll
I'd
improve
have to get
your
back
average.
to my board counting again. We see here, I think birthday boy Skillman here might have a split. I think it's pretty pick-upable here. Let's see what we got here. Come on, Skillman. Oh, just missed it. Probably should have attacked that a little more on the left side of that head pin, huh?
You know what? Either way, in between or on the left, knock him down and
Knock
we'll
him
count
down.
it a spare. Matt Harney made his double into a turkey.
Did he?
He's definitely trying to make a statement here.
I'll tell you what, statement's being made.
Andrew Klein with the strike there on lane 5, setting up the 10th frame. Not overly happy with it, but he'll take the result.
Yeah, he'll take it.
Strike is a strike up on the board. They don't have a little asterisk next to it
there-
saying it was
nope.
Brooklyn. It's still going to count. Preston looking to make his spare, the 3-6-10 on lane 6. Daniel Robertson matches it and does the exact same thing. Ooh,
Preston didn't quite pick up all the pins there.
leaving himself an open in that foundation frame.
The all-important 9th. Liberty's got 3 out of 4 players marking here in the 9th. Memorial with 2 out of 4. Oh, yeah.
Brandon probably trying to make the adjustment from the ring 7 that he left in frame 7. Probably made a small adjustment to the left or tried to hook it a little harder and unfortunately came up with a not positive result.
Yes, and the guy's letting him know that, hey, look what just happened.
Yeah. You
I'd
might
it
say,
goes
hey,
for-
bounce it out. Look how hard he threw it that one. Oh,
See, he almost shot my shot. If that bounced out and caught it, it could have hit it the other way.
yes, it would
And
have.
then everybody could have just closed their eyes.
And we're going to say we're going to use your rules
Yeah,
today.
that's it, my rule.
Now, going into the final frame here. We'll see where we are. Liberty has about a 50-pin lead.
Be interesting to see how this one finishes up.
Justin Bone with the first strike in the 10th. Can finish with a 247.
247. What's that? Right around his average, isn't it? What's his average?
His average is about 230. So Justin series,
Little bit over.
yes, he's going to have a great day.
He had a good series today, then too.
He sure did. He has about almost 540 for the first 2. So he's going to be over 700.
Can't argue with a day like that.
Nope, that will make him happy.
Oh.
Little light that time.
Gonna leave what looks like the 2-pin maybe. Nice pickup there.
Mason with a 10-pin conversion.
Justin going for the spare. Pretty good ball. Right down Broadway. Picks
Justin
up the
finishes
spare.
with a 236.
If he strikes here, he gets 236?
He actually got the spare and finished
Oh,
with
he got the
236.
spare and finished
yes,
with
236. Nice day for
It
Justin.
is a good day. It's a good day to be a Bone.
Good day to be a Bone. We're going to be
Zach?
hopeful his dad over in Finland can throw a few strikes like that. That will certainly help
Would be
his
nice, wouldn't it?
help his tournament.
Dad's out in Finland today, huh?
Dad is in Finland,
Very
bowling
cool.
in the 50th annual Ballmaster Open.
All right.
Justin rolled a very nice 762 today.
That is solid.
That will actually improve himself for his high series for the season. Prior to today, it was 749, so
Oh.
he's improved that. Just shy of his brother was 790, but we'll take 762.
Absolutely, and rising to the occasion today, doing it on a day where it comes in handy. We see Wanted leaving the 5-pin maybe.
It is the 5-pin. Look at Matt Harney delivering for 4 in a row, going for 5 in a row. Look
Here it
at
goes,
this.
Here it goes. Oh, that
Great shot.
10-pin.
Nice shot there by Matt. Yep, leaving the 10 pin.
You bowlers must wake up at night with nightmares of 10 pins, with running around with chainsaws.
And we just have to make sure that they become our best friend because we leave so many of them. We just
Yeah.
have to make sure we can make them.
You gotta bring them into the family.
That's right.
And let's see, it's gonna finish with a 1.
Look at that. Great shot for Matt. Finishing with a very nice 202.
Good argument for him today, let me tell you.
I have to tell you, I've been working with Matt for about the past year, and it's been such a joy to see the improvement and confidence in a player like himself. Started out as a youth bowler here in our program on Saturday mornings, and now is bowling on Friday nights, and embracing and giving the high school bowling a try, and very supportive parents, and just really enjoying the game.
It makes such a big difference when you get that support from home and for athletes that actually enjoy the sport that they're participating in.
Yeah.
And they want to get better. Good to see.
And you struggle sometimes. The lanes change, and we find days that we don't have our best days, and you got to pick up the pieces and hold your head high and come back and try again and just figure out what you need to do better. And looks like he regrouped after those opens in frame 5 and 6 and brought it back and finished with a nice 202.
That's a solid performance there. So we see Skillman, the birthday boy, pick up a spare there.
Steven will finish with a nice day here.
Yeah, birthday boy had a good day out here today.
Yes, he did.
Ice cream is definitely in order, Skillman family, no doubt about it. Preston leaving, let me guess, the 10 pin.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Once again, the 10 pin on lane 5. Let's hope he can connect here with it and fill his frame.
And that's Skillman that finishes with a strike there. I think.
181.
181.
Nice way to end the day on a strike.
Good day, yeah. Can end on a strike?
I have to be honest, it never fails, but the fill ball always strikes.
Always.
You're like,
Want that first ball.
I just want it on the first one.
That's it. Just give it to me on ball 1. Oh.
Another 10 pin.
Let me guess.
Andrew Klein.
Klein's thinking the same thing. What's up with that 10 pin?
Can I strike? Can I make that a double? I set it up in the 9th.
Look at the poor guy. He was on a roll. Gonna have to pick up the spare to earn that bonus ball here.
Preston finishing his day with a 177.
Not too shabby. Pretty solid number. 920 to 861 here. Liberty with a lead. Probably going to hold on for this one. That's a lot of pins to make up in one frame.
It is. This was a great last game by both teams.
Let's see if Brandon can right the ship here. The number 7 pin. Yup.
The right-hander's 10 pin, the left-hander's 7 pin.
Seeing a trend here. Oh, wait, go. Andrew got a little help there from that spinning pin.
191 there for Andrew.
Andrew, a reminder, that's a freshman out there bowling a 191. Take a look at that again here. And it takes one out. Oh, hey, let me knock you over. Ooh, he almost knocked. Oh, I got him over too. I like it when the pin slides off its mark but doesn't fall over. It's like especially annoying. It's almost like somebody sticking their tongue out at you. There we go. Let's see what Brandon's got here. Hey, there it is. Oh, you called that too. You called that on that bonus ball.
Finally, he's saying.
He's like, geez, Mom's not going to feed me dinner tonight.
No.
160. Brandon's going to finish up his day. Pretty good series from him today as well. 9:40 here as Liberty wraps up their side of it to 886. That's going to be a sweep for the Liberty boys today. Going to sweep all 3 games. Total series 3,189 pins to 2,793. Good day for the Liberty Lions there, 3189. That's got to be pretty close to their best for the season, I'd have to guess.
They fell just short of it.
Short. I know what's going to happen. They're going to look at that later and think about this 3rd game and be like, hey,
yeah,
if we would have did this, this, and this, right?
Fell short of their season high, for sure.
Boys are going to wrap up there. Liberty with a sweep there, 3 games to 0. And we're going to congratulate the gentlemen on a well-played game there for both teams. Fun to cover that one. We're going to slide on over for the finish on the girls, who are now entering their 5th frame. Good job to the gentlemen. As you see their final scores up there. Game 3 going to Jackson Liberty. We check in with the girls now. Here we go. Guys doing a fine job on the bus today, I got to tell you. Doing a good job of this 2-game coverage there. You made it look easy. Boom.
Emily Fogarty adding to her strike in frame 4, making that a double. Here's Chloe after a couple of open frames. She's looking to get started here.
I got 6 tallies.
Ooh, come on, fall over.
She's thinking if that falls, it probably takes out the other one and I have a strike.
Chloe, pretty easy spare as far as spares go too for this one.
Yeah,
And when I say easy, that is obviously a very subjective term. Let's see what we got here. Pretty good. I think she got robbed on that one. I don't even know how that missed. She had a nice little break on it.
That's one of those things that's really hard to do again. If you said, Chloe, try to chop that one more time, not liking her chances.
Yeah, I think you're right. Ooh, that ball hangs right on the edge. Nice pickup there.
Grace should be smiling after that conversion.
Right? Yeah, I'd be happy about that one too. Flirting with disaster right on the edge of the gutter. Alexandra.
That looks like a pretty good shot.
Yeah, she got that one. Had a little left to right fade to it.
Yep. That adds up nicely with her spare in frame 4.
If that was tennis, they call that the American twist.
The American twist.
It's an American twist.
I like it.
Oh, strike for Gianna.
Looks like
by the way, if you remember the end of the last game, Gianna was struggling a little bit in the middle of the game, leaving spares, but struck out the last 3 balls of the previous game. And if you look at where she's at now, spare, strike, 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 having herself a good comeback game here.
She figured if I knock them all down on the first shot, I don't have to worry about the spare.
Oh, look at that one wobbling. That's a wobbler.
Alexa's like, I would take a strike on that shot.
Oh, absolutely. That pin's still sitting there?
Left-hander leaving the 10 pin, excuse me.
Oh, nice little, there you go. Good ball.
Trinity with a nice cover of the spare. She's having a nice game. 4 filled frames out of 5.
Yeah, that's a pickup.
See how that ball has less rotation, less coverage. I mean, she still covers a lot of the lane, but it's more direct.
For sure. It's funny too, because of these balls with all these different patterns to them, you can really track how much the ball is rotating pretty easily.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that's probably part of the reason that balls look the way they do, so you can see how much rotation you're actually putting on the ball.
Well, and they're more shelf friendly. When you walk into a pro shop and you see a ball with lots of colors, I know from the women's side, you walk in, you go, ooh, I like the pink one, or I like the purple one, or that has lots of swirls.
Oh, she got it.
Great
That's
job.
that's the way I pick a ball out. What color is it?
Look
What's
at,
it weigh? Wait, can I throw a 10-pound ball? Because I can throw a 10-pound ball pretty fast.
the Liberty girls are putting their spares together with some strikes, continuing on a great day for them.
Well, it's all about those spares for these young bowlers.
It sure is. Just understanding the system. You know, I oftentimes relate it to just when we're in math and we're learning our fast facts. 2 + 2 is 4. 5 + 5 is 10. In bowling, when you leave a certain spare combination, when you leave it and you turn around and you're walking back, you should just consciously think about, okay, now I just need to move my feet 3 boards to the right, 3 boards to the left, or pick up my spare ball.
Now, are they relocating their target as well?
Sometimes, most of the time, they're going to relocate their target when they're shooting the pins that are on the extreme edges. Most of the pins in the middle, from the 4-pin on the left to the 6-pin on the right, for this level of player, they're just going to move off their strike target. So there's a couple of spare systems. They just need to find which spare system works the best for them and feel comfortable with it and confident.
Makes sense.
So you really just try to keep it as simple as possible. As they grow as players and they develop their games and they bowl on different patterns, in patterns I mean by the way the oil is applied to the lane, you may want to simplify your spare system and throw straighter at them to negate the oil.
Right.
When you watch the boys, you see more of on their pair of lanes throwing more direct at the spares because they don't want the lane to have any effect on their
On
spares.
what the spares are doing. Yeah, that
So when
makes
they
sense.
travel around to different bowling centers, they just want to know that I stand here, I throw here with this ball, and it's just a direct line. The shortest distance between 2 targets is a straight line.
Straight line. I mean, I always thought there was way bigger margin of error on a ball that had a big hook to it anyway. If you don't if you don't throw it to the same spot with the exact same spin, I don't know. I'm amazed by these guys, how consistent they can be throwing these big hooks that they're throwing because, you know, when you talk about other sports and things you can do to a ball to increase your consistency. Well, one thing you do in tennis is you want to be more consistent, you put more spin on the ball, okay? The difference is in bowling, your spot that you're hitting is inches. In tennis, you're playing with 10 feet maybe.
Right.
So to see kids at this level hitting these marks so consistently with these big hooks that they have, it's just impressive. Really, it really is.
It is, and you know, we watch the girls, and so many of these girls are young. Maybe they tried other sports before they got to the high school level, and you know, they tried to figure out what sport might be best for them. And it's been fun to see so many of them gear towards bowling and try it and become a part of a team, find success, find enjoyment, you know, have some great camaraderie, team spirit with the girls, maybe meet some new friends that they didn't have, you know, from class. It's really been fun. And then, you know, as we just watched the boys take on each other, there's a lot of
Nice pickup.
great spare.
That's a
Look
good
at that,
pickup.
3 frames in a row, spare, strike, spare. You know, on the boys' side, we just witnessed national champions, world champions. These kids compete all the time, and it wouldn't surprise me. And I mean, watch all those names because you're going to see some of them in the future.
In the future on the bowling on the pro tour.
Bowling on the tour, and you know, possibly representing our country on Junior Team USA or Team USA itself. Whoops. Trinity with a small error there.
What do we do about that now? I get a restart?
Let's see.
What's the rule?
Let's see what happens.
They're going to show us the replay on this.
We're going to see the replay.
Let's see if she passed. They got to pass that line. Whoop. Nope. I
Nope.
think she's good.
Doesn't count as a foul. She gets to redeliver
Gets to
that.
redeliver that, huh?
She sure does.
Good job, guys. Did she make the most of it there?
She did. She dropped it behind her, got 9 on the
They
spare.
got 9. Nice.
And Gianna continuing on with making that 5 strikes in a row for Gianna Massi.
Oh, she is making up for her last game, I can tell you that. Off to a strong start here midway through game 3, and she's lighting it up over there.
Krista here trying to make this 3 in a row.
Pretty good
Great
shot.
shot.
Got it. Well, happy with that.
Just need to make an adjustment there to the score.
Trinity kind of threw another strike ball there.
Mr. Target. So important for these bowlers to keep their eyes out on the lane and make sure they swing through their target. It's been fun to watch them take their eyes and drop them right past the foul line because they feel like if they move their target closer to them, it'll be easier to hit.
Right.
And it's really, we want them to do the opposite, keep their eyes out so they project their ball out onto the lane.
Yeah. I took great, when I was learning how to bowl the right way, which
Yeah.
I've completely forgotten now over the last 20 years, I found it comforting to know that, wait, so you're telling me all I have to do is count these boards over and hit that spot? You know, my scores, my totals went up right away once I was taught the right way to do it. So I think it's important too. Ooh, almost. I think it's important that they have, it's great that they're being coached by folks that know what they're doing, and have experience and expertise in the system, because clearly what I learned over the years is there is a clear mathematical science system to this. And if you can understand that and embrace it, then you'll get better as a player. You will absolutely get better. You could be not the most athletic person in the world. Honestly, you could not be a great athlete, but you could be a really good bowler if you could do the math a little bit. And apply yourself, of course. That's always...
And apply yourself. And just like anything, the more you do it, the more comfortable that you get and the more that you retain. And I keep it simple with those fast facts. If you just know that 2 + 2 is 2. When we were young and our kids were in elementary school, we just kept reiterating those fast facts over and over and over, whether it was addition or multiplication. You could just name them off really quickly.
So you coaching, you would expect your player after throwing ball 1 and leaving, let's say, 2 pins to turn around, walk away, and the first thing is in their head mentally they're already talking about where I'm going to stand and where I'm throwing it. Yeah.
And, it's funny. If I'm working with Chloe right now, I say, okay, where are you going to stand? What ball are you going to throw? What's your target? So that immediately that is in her mindset, not I'm so disappointed that I left the 6-10.
Right.
Refocus onto, I need to pick up my spare ball. I'm going to stand on, be it board 32. I'm going to look at the middle arrow, and I'm going to reach out to my target. And then we can talk about, when she's done with this, what adjustments necessary for her first shot the next time. Look at there. Oh, so close.
Yep.
As we were talking about Chloe and her 6-10, Emily struck in frame 7 on a great shot. Grace a little bit high in her 6-10. Let's see if she can fill her frame.
Gianna's up in just a minute here, and we'll see if she can make it. Might that be 6 in a row?
Yep.
Well, that's a pretty good ball right there.
It's a great shot. We talk about her ball going a little bit left to right. Mm-hmm. So in her approach, she goes through her approach, her first 3 steps, and then when she finishes her follow through, her thumb actually goes, if you're looking at a clock, let's say her thumb is like at 11 and it goes to 1 o'clock. Therefore, her ball is motioning or veering off to the right. We might say that left to right motion. In all honesty, we would love for her to take her thumb and go a little bit more towards 10 or 9 o'clock to create that right to left motion.
Right to left break, right.
Yep.
Because she's throwing almost, the ball's going in the direction almost that a lefty does.
Right.
Almost.
And this is what
Gianna,
we're used to
that's 6
seeing.
in a row.
This is what we're used to seeing from Gianna.
Well, she's got a whole brim of confidence going on her right now.
She sure does.
Trinity here. Good job
Nice
holding on
shot.
to the ball that time, Trinity. Ball works its way through there.
Alexis looking for a double. Oh, great shot. There's that 7-pin.
7-pin.
Trinity should be thinking about this is just a 4 or 5 board move left with my feet. Reach out to my target, keep my ball speed up, fill my frame.
Got it.
So many times these players create so much disappointment from their first shot, the execution that they made, and they carry that into their spare shot, and then of course it affects the results of that next shot.
Absolutely.
If we can get them to learn how to just finish the frame, and then let's talk about it, take the emotion out of it, it definitely helps. Oh, great shot, Faith.
Faith, nice ball delivery there. Yeah, you need to have a short memory there for those mistakes. You need to move on. That's so true in so many different levels of so many different sports, but so true in bowling because it happens so quickly. You're stepping right up again and having to deliver that ball within less than a minute.
And think about your facial expressions and what you bring to your team when you turn around and you're distraught or you're disappointed. So you're sending that message to your teammates.
Sure.
And that can affect the play of the rest of the
next
players.
person, yeah.
Even
when things aren't going well for you, I wouldn't say a poker face, but a little more calm maybe is in order.
Pick me up.
Yeah, something.
Pick me up.
A little something.
I'll be back. Try to come up with some verbiage or language that helps you get through that moment that you're struggling with, and that your teammates will be there to help. Be there for you.
Yeah, positive self-talk, such a good and important tool to the psychological part of the game. Take a look here and we can see Memorial up 6, looks like 51 to 487. Too bad there. Laura having herself a pretty good game here as we enter closing in on the 8th frame, it looks like.
She is. Looks like we're waiting for a pin to be set back up on lane 4.
Well, at least it's not the old days where there's somebody in the back actually standing pins up.
That's so true. Yeah, the game certainly has come a long way from those days.
Has. Remember the days of keeping score by hand?
I do.
Oh, man.
I can relate to that.
That was interesting.
We had
family fights at the bowling alley. You're not doing it right.
We had our little grease pencils on the telescores, and the machine would get hot. Put your hand on it, and then it would post your score up above so you could see it.
That's it.
Here we are looking at a nice scope of the whole bowling center, the 32 lanes here at Howell.
I always liked the little night bowling was always fun when they turned the lights down, put some music on.
Cosmic bowling is entertaining.
Oh, it's fun. I can see the pins better too, That's what I tell myself anyway.
Well, we are about halfway through this high school bowling season. The kids all of our athletes here will compete in 15 matches. This is match number 9. So we have 6 matches remaining. Sectionals will be the first week in February. The boys will contest their sectional championships February 1st, and the girls will be on February 8th. And then the following week will be our state championship matches.
I think it's pretty exciting that the bowlers get to play out to #1 in the state in their group. I think that's such an exciting. That's one of the things that's missing in football is being able to play down to that last game. Some sports, you can't do it. That's what's fun about sports like baseball and softball. They let you get down to that one team. It's fun in a group. So it's kind of fun when you sit here and you see these bowlers are going to bowl down to state champions, overall state champions.
It's so exciting. Cool. We were at Carolier last year, and they determined our 4 group champions. So that's determined by 3 games of like what we just visited here.
Oh, look at this. This is pretty solid stuff right here. Our graphics team is working. We'll come back to that in a second. We've got Justin here being compared to one of my idols over there, Mr. Roger Federer, Jay Smooth over there. Mr. Roger is Mr. Ice, very calm, cool. And I'm going to guess that when they flip to the second graphic number 2, perhaps we're going to see Rafa Nadal
with
next to Brandon.
With the other bone boy.
We'll see how good they are. I'll let you know in a second, folks.
Nice spare there by Laura
I'm
sure
waited. Justin appreciated that.
After she had a brief timeout to complete that spare.
And to reset that, we're going to enter the 8th frame here. Just a second here. Liberty on Let's see, on the left, it looks like. Yep. Pretty nice ball. Is going to leave 2.
Emily here. Emily finding her groove on lane 4, making that a double.
Always nice to see those strikes get piled in there together.
Your score adds up so much quicker.
Yeah, it sure does.
Chloe should just be focused on hitting my target and making the spare.
Oh, pretty good
Needs
hook.
a little help.
What?
Keep going, keep
Oh,
going.
how did that not hit that?
So when we talked about the oil a little bit earlier, her ball actually used all of its energy. So it started out in all of the dry, and it hooked and hooked and hooked, and then by the time that it got out of the pattern, it had lost its energy.
Uh-huh. So it just started sliding, more or less?
It just lost its
Lost
oomph.
its hook.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
See if she, oh, little miss follow through there. See how her arm just kind of stopped? It's really important on many of her other shots. She's had a great follow through, a great release all the way through her target. That one she may have been slightly distracted. There's a good follow through by Grace. Oh, just
Missed
sliding
by
by
a
the 10
hair.
pin.
That follow through is supposed to go over that same shoulder?
Should go over by your right ear.
Right
Yep.
here.
I often use as a visual reference Lady Liberty.
Oh, very nice.
Swing through and get your arm swing right up there by your ear. See how she cut it a little bit short?
Uh-huh.
That would be like a tennis player just kind of punching
Short arming.
it.
I call it short arming.
Yeah.
Don't short arm the ball.
You want to just make sure you swing through, and if you're
Or-
going to make a mistake, do it 100%.
Absolutely. Or T-Rexing. I just call it T-Rexing. too.
T-Rexing. Gianna looking for another one.
Get it? Oh, come on, knock it over.
Little short, leaving just the 7 pin.
Tiana had a good run there. Look at that score add up all of a sudden.
That's nice.
She'll be up over 2 easy on this.
Yes, she will. Trinity's happy with that delivery.
Good reason to be happy there.
Trinity's already over her average.
That is a good day in the house when you're over your average. Faith's up again. Had a strike last time out.
See Faith's.
Come on, hook, hook, hook.
Oh! She
That
wasn't
ball-
overly excited
I
with
don't
that.
think she was.
No.
I think there was about a second of that might slide into the gutter if it doesn't start hooking soon.
Right?
Yeah, nice pick up there for Gianna, who continues to stay on a tear here.
Is very thankful that she filled that frame.
No open frames for Gianna in this game. Pretty nice ball.
Leaving herself just a 6-10 there.
She got it.
Great recovery there by Alexis.
Interesting to keep an eye on those last second breaks.
Yes, it
They
is.
come in just at the last second like that one did.
Nice follow through.
Again, on that one, you're going to stand far to the left in order to take out the pins on the right.
That's correct.
I take it the mark changes probably from, I'm going to guess, from center to well, probably 1 to the right or something, right?
You're right. So we use the target in the middle, which is board 20, as a guide when you're shooting the pins for the 6-10. And then, oh, great shot there by Emily, leaving a solid 10 pin. So then you'll notice that there's 2 other target markers down the lane, and there's one in a set in the front and then a set in the back. And if you draw a line between the middle arrow through those last 2 target markers, you'll realize and recognize that that is a direct diagonal line for your spare.
Take a look at that replay there where ball hooks nicely into the pocket.
A little bit high.
A little bit.
Yep. Great release. Great shot.
So counting those, a combination of counting your boards on where you're starting and changing that mark where your target is.
Yeah, and you'll see Chloe's had a really great game. Her first shots have been really, really, really great. I mean, 8s and 9s across the board on her first shot. Just needing to finish that frame with that spare like she did there in that frame, which was really good.
Way to go.
Grace, touch the head pin. 8.
Maybe slid off the the head pin just a hair.
Yep.
Alexandra had a nice ball last time. Let's see what she's got here. Come on, start hooking. That one hooked a little left.
It's not too excited
No,
about that. We got a
probably
little
not.
smile. Grace getting set here to make this spare. Right in the middle of the lane. This should be an easy conversion for her.
Good concentration from her there. Yeah.
Yep.
She got it.
Just like your strike target, no need to move your feet, no need to move your target. Just make a great execution and fill your frame. She's going to need to go right between these.
This could be
That
a
was
fun
a
one to watch here.
good follow-through.
Let's see.
Oh.
Deflects it.
Nice try.
Yep, E for effort. She was happy with that one.
She was.
She was close. There's
Gianna.
in the ninth. We're in the ninth frame here, by the way. Little slip there. Is she gonna catch it? Nope. Oh, that could be trouble.
Gianna leaving herself the washout. She looked like she slipped a little bit on her delivery, and you'll notice her slide foot turned a little bit further to the right. Hence, that's where her ball went.
So the ball went. Makes sense.
Yep. She's going to use her strike ball. She'll probably move. This is about a 5 or 6 board move to the right with your feet, and then throw your same shot. And you want your ball to go just to the left side of the head pin.
Left side of the head pin.
Oh.
A little too much.
Caught it. Yep. Hooked just a little bit more
You're
than she
gonna try
wanted
and catch
to.
that head pin, so the head pin kicked out and got the.
Yep.
Was that the 9?
Takes out the 10 pin. Yep. You're getting it.
You're a good teacher. Good coach.
Oh. And you'll notice that as we are finishing up this third game, the lanes are hooking more. The girls need to be aware. Oh, she'll take it. She's
I'll
like,
take it.
okay,
Hey,
I'll
sure.
take that. The lanes are hooking more, so they need to make an adjustment. Typically for a right-hander, you're going to have to move a little bit more left with your feet, a little bit more left with your eyes. You're trying to find a little bit more oil in the middle part of the lane so that your ball doesn't hook as much. And the left-handers would move a little bit more to the right with their feet, the opposite of the right-handers.
Makes sense.
Looking for the double.
That's in a pretty good spot.
Great shot, 4-pin. She's still using the same ball that she started with, keeping herself pretty close. She's probably just made some adjustments with her feet left and her eyes left, just to keep her ball in the target.
Find the balls hold a bit of the oil in the course of a day.
Yeah, absolutely. Faith looking to make that
She
spare.
got it.
Great shot. This will be her high game for the day.
Isn't she way over her average for the day?
She is way over her average, yes. She's having a great day.
Days like this really can add to your confidence as an athlete and carry that into your next big match. As we see here, we've got Memorial up 829 to 626, but scores looking good.
And if we look at the growth for this young Liberty team, you know, you look at their averages from when they first started the season. Now we're 8 matches in, 8 matches meaning 24 games, 3 games per match. You know, now we're gearing towards that second half of the season. So it'll be fun to watch the growth that the girls have earned and gained from the first half and see how much more we continue to grow as a team going into the second half.
Sure, a lot of times I think teams can also take other teams for granted when they play someone once early on in the season, especially just missed. Especially a young team that you know is going to grow a lot in the course of a season. You know, I've had teams sneak up on me like that where I, as a coach, maybe took someone for granted a little too much, thinking that, wow, we had a pretty easy time the first time. Sometimes the makeup of a team, they're so young, their improvement's going to be so big that, you know, you got to look out. These guys had a great day today, so for them, I think, you know, they should take this this ride today. I feel pretty confident. That dreaded 10-pin.
There it is. You know, and as a bowler, you always want that first strike in the 10th. It kind of takes that little bit of pressure off of
For
you.
sure.
Like, okay, I got the first one. Now
Now she's got to sweat the.
She's
Got to make the spare.
Yes.
And it's the 10-pin.
I know.
I would probably have a voodoo doll at home that was a 10-pin. It was me. Absolutely. All right, here we go. Come on. Dreaded 10-pin.
Yeah, and that
Causing
plays on your
problems.
mind. You know, the last thing you want to end your day with is
An open frame.
with an open frame.
Especially in the 10th.
Yes. Talked about that 9th and 10th frame. Emily had a really, really great game going there, and she's going to be a little disappointed finishing with 9 miss, 9 miss. But great young player. She's come a long way.
Well, break.
I know Emily bowled a youth tournament over the holiday break and had an outstanding finish, finishing second. We're going to see a lot out of these young girls.
It's good to see. It's good to see the girls competing.
Oh,
it really is.
absolutely.
And like you said, you know, for some of these girls, it's a sport they find later. Maybe as a freshman, they're coming out and playing bowling for the first time. So it's great they get a chance to come out and compete. And for a lot of the girls that have been doing it for a lot of years, competing at the youth level first, that's a good pickup.
Did you see her follow through?
Yeah,
Her follow through was almost above her head.
that's good.
Ball stayed right on her target line.
Another strike there.
Grace wants to finish this out with a
Yeah,
158
she's
with
looking,
one more
she's
strike.
looking for strike 3 right here.
She is.
For sure.
You know, and it's so important for these kids to make sure that they eat properly. Oh, look at that. Finishing with a
Hello there.
strike.
Nice.
129 with an average of 106. She had a great day.
She did.
You know, we talk about eating properly, working out, being able to maintain the level of play, you know, the energy level that you start out with game 1 to maintain that through 3 games.
Oh, absolutely. You know, because this game started at 2:30 and it is 5:38.
Yeah.
They've got to maintain that a level for 3 hours.
For 3 hours.
That is no easy task.
And as much as it's physical, it is mental. We talked about the mental game. How to stay positive, how to let it go. You know, some of our athletes right now, we've got a couple players from here who were not able to compete in today's match that are competing for Team USA. Today was practice session out in Las Vegas. Those athletes are going to bowl for the next 5 days. They're going to bowl 6 games a day, which doesn't sound like a lot of games, but it's at the highest level.
Right.
It's going to be on patterns that they're unfamiliar with. They had a practice day today, but Morgan Gitlitz, who bowls for Colts Neck, who bowled on the TV show this past summer at Junior Gold, is competing for a spot on Junior Team USA. So we'll be excited to watch her performance throughout the week and see how she fares.
Does.
Cameron Peters, Paige Peters, 2 other kids from our short conference. I'm sure there's someone I may have missed, so I do apologize. There are 3 names off the top of my head, but you know, maintaining, being athletic, being fit, having the right snacks to keep that energy level up, it's really important.
Last thing you want to do is be here eating a lot of sugar and crashing
Right.
during game 3 because you had
Right.
3 Snicker bars.
Well, and you're on your legs. I mean, very few of these kids have sat down through the
I haven't
match.
seen anybody sit.
Right. So you want to work on
Shoot,
your
I'm
legs.
tired just standing here.
Right?
I haven't thrown a ball yet.
And so, you know, we talk about going to the gym and, you know, just the cardio, just so that you can maintain and keep that high level so you don't lose it game 3.
Yep.
You know, those last few shots could be for anybody. Could be for a tournament, could be for a match, could be for a game. Every single shot counts.
Sure does.
Great finish there by Alexa.
Oh.
Alexis.
Let's see. She's got 2 more balls.
She can end today's day with a nice 237.
Ah.
She will be very happy with that.
That's some good. That's some good math again there, Leslie. I got to tell you.
Not a problem. She's looking to make one more great shot, one more great delivery.
Hook.
Oh, no. That's disappointing. So she'll simply need to regroup, bring that strong mental game.
That was in a good spot.
She's
What are you doing about that ball? You got to
She's
throw another
pretty
ball down there to hit it? She looks
understandably
a little tweaked
disappointed that the machine came. Yeah. We've all been there.
about it. Yeah.
So be strong mentally right now. This will be a good example. Someone's going to have to retrieve her bowling ball, take that next delivery, reset
Working
the
its way
pins.
back pretty slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it pretty much stopped.
Faith could finish her frame. Oh, here we go. Justin
look,
Bone's going to
Justin's
run
gonna
down
get it.
there and grab her ball.
It's all right. Shadow Bone getting the ball there. There it is. It's still working its way down.
Here it comes. Being hand delivered.
That's it. Better watch that ankle in there, buddy. They reset that. Looks like they reset it already. Yeah.
She may want to make sure that that's reset. Faith trying to make this spare over here. Oh, nice try, Faith.
Got the tough one. Good attempt there. Finished up with a 150. That's got it.
25 pins over her average. Faith rolled every game over her average today.
That is good for her. Solid.
Good for her.
Solid performance.
Feeling pretty confident she's going to make a great shot here.
Here we go. And gets a pretty good roll.
Fell a little short.
Left the 9 pin, it looks
226 with a spare.
That's the high game. That's the high game for a girl today, 226, right?
It is.
See, I was paying attention. And she picked it up.
Nice game.
You called it, 226. Last two bowlers here are Laura and Krista. Laura's gonna picks the spare up. Gets her that extra ball. Pretty nice work here. Ball sliding a little bit, but she catches just enough of it. You're right. You don't have to hit it down the middle. You just gotta hit it.
That's right. Alexis is going to leave with the high game of the day for the girls with a 226, just edging out Gianna's 222.
Oh, I forgot about Gianna's game too. That's right. Pretty solid performance from those Memorial bowlers today.
Continuing on with their undefeated season through 9 matches, so 27 games. They'll be 27-0 after this last shot here by Krista.
Pretty impressive.
177 for Laura over her average. Nice bowling.
A solid game. Good series for her. 727 series? Wait, 150? No, that's down. Sorry. I added the wrong way.
Krista can finish with a 203 game here with a strike.
And she did.
Very nice. 3 200s to wrap that up.
That is a pretty strong third game from Memorial there. Well, that's going to give Memorial the win there. 925 to 720. Oh, 975 to 727.
Yep.
And that'll give keep Memorial pretty much undefeated. 27-0 in games too. Is that right? Pretty impressive. So what do we have today? A lot of recap here. We've got the Jackson Liberty boys sweeping 3-0 against Memorial. Close contest all day long. Pretty solid stuff. And the Memorial girls doing the flip side to Liberty girls.
Continuing their undefeated streak.
I'd keep an eye on those Liberty girls. That Memorial girls team, keep an eye on them to see how long they can keep that undefeated streak going.
We will definitely keep an eye on them. Krista Angelo led the girls today with a nice 582 series. And then Justin Bone on the boys' side with an impressive 772.
That's pretty impressive there. Roger Federer would be proud.
Roger Federer would be proud.
He'd be proud.
So that 230 average that Justin had going in today would be a 690 series. So he certainly will keep that and add to it.
Absolutely. Listen, it was a pleasure working with you today.
So nice to work with you. Thanks for having me.
You're so good. Your expertise definitely came in handy today, folks. No doubt about it. Going to be way thankful that Leslie was here with me today. And for everyone here at JTV, I want to say thank you. And we'll see you next time on the JTV Game of the Week. So long.